ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Big news for Nebraska Lottery Powerball fans. Powerball Double Play is here. Double Play is a $1 add-on to Powerball that gives you an additional chance to win up to $10 million. Double Play is drawn after the main Powerball drawing every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So visit your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer today and ask the clerk to add Double Play to your Powerball ticket. Or fill out a play slip and select Double Play. Top prize odds, 1 in 292 million.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no per-ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over. Danced to another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover.
Hey!
John and Josh are here. Hi, guys.
Hey!
What's up?
I've gotten 2 emails in the last 15 minutes.
Somebody's triggered already?
Well, preemptively triggered about John, I think is what's going on. One guy sent me
Here we go.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screenshots from the end of last night's game. Don't care. And then another guy just said...
Of a guy getting fouled or not getting fouled?
Yes.
Got it.
He is anti-John, I believe. And then here, Josh writes, here comes 4 hours of Creighton fan thinking they lost last night because of the refs.
Well, I guess we're going to start with this. I was hoping we would come up with something better.
Let's do something else. How about that ice outside?
Else. It's Cubs Day, I think, on MLB Network today.
Cubs Day?
Well, this doesn't look...
Harold Shaffer.
Harold Reynolds has nothing to do with the Cubs. So
I thought they meant they'd show like old games.
No. They go down to Arizona and talk to the teams.
That's not as fun. I figured it'd be like, hey, it's the 2016 World Series.
It's more of a preview.
Joe Buck's like, hey, folks, the election's coming up next week. Be sure to vote.
It was weird. I can't remember what it was a couple of Saturdays ago. They had Game 6 on.
Game 6?
Yeah. Game 6, the Cubs blew out the Indians.
It's a weird game to have on.
Yeah, I thought it was too. And it wasn't like they were running them all sequentially, like here's game 1, here's game 2, here's game 3. They were just running game 6.
Even 6.
I love that. They should do that on the Big Ten Network. Let's just put on a random game that wasn't even good.
They do. Remember, they'll play the Big Ten championship game, Nebraska, Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how many times I saw that a decade ago. It's like, hey, it's Taylor Martinez's good run, but the game's over now.
Yeah.
Hey, they just did a jet
I'm
sweep.
thinking even more random than that. Like, give me like a Purdue, Illinois, 11 a.m. game at some point.
What about the Nebraska-Michigan game last year? That game sucked. Why not just start showing that for no reason?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Who was the guy?
Short run time.
Was it Alante Brown who got hit in the junk?
Yeah.
And he's
Let's see the Northwestern game from last year.
Oh, that would be so much fun.
That was actually a good game, though, Nick.
Of the onside.
Yeah. I forgot this is going to be a very weird, illuminating thing about myself and what I represent. I was scrolling through our Zone YouTube the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I wanted to watch some early season football stuff for some reason. I have no idea why. Anyway, I saw the overreaction for the Northwestern game. I totally forgotten that I did that show. I was like, what? That was me? It was Gary and me. I didn't remember that at all. Gary? I didn't remember that at all.
Yeah, I guess because I was at a friend's house.
Gary? Yeah.
I was just thinking, well, this season's over. Fun.
Yeah. Oh, man. And it was August.
Very cool. It was August.
It was like the 5th game of the whole year. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing Daniel says there's always weird random NFL games being replayed on TV while live NFL games are happening. It's weird. Who watches those?
They're doing the top however many NFL games of the year. Earlier we were watching Bills-Vikings, which was a great game.
Nice.
This year.
That was an awesome game. I watched that with Shaffer.
Awesome.
I like it when NFL Network will randomly show us Red Zone for like week 4 Red Zone.
Oh, that's coming up.
I love that.
They did that last
year. We'll put it on
year.
in studio. It's great.
They did that
awesome.
last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching it.
Yeah, I like when they do that.
Random week 7 of 2021.
Yesterday, I had
just a moment in time. It's a time capsule.
Yeah,
it is. It is a time capsule.
I had Browns Jets week 2 on yesterday for some reason. Just how I roll, I guess. Very normal.
Random sports.
Johnny arguing with people on.
No,
on
I'm not arguing with anybody.
Okay.
I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm afraid of offending the aristocrats. So
the aristocrats.
Yes.
That's a punchline to an old joke.
Oh, it is, and it's a really funny joke.
I'm sure it's great.
Especially
I don't think we can say it.
No, we can't. But when
But you
Gilbert
can say the
Gottfried
punchline.
told it, it was great.
Oh, Shane said, sorry, I didn't mean to get you guys triggered. I'm not triggered. I mean, look, I just don't want to see 9 screenshots. I don't care. Send them to John. Don't attach me to these Creighton.
Probably don't
Send
send
all
them to
the
John
Creighton
either.
crap to him. I don't want to get your takes.
There's a good chance I'm deleting it anyway.
That's true. You probably are like, no, thank you.
I saw what I
saw
saw.
you were
I
getting
know what I
tweeted at
saw, and
last
that's
night.
it.
People were tweeting at you last night.
Well, sometimes again, the silver lining in the cloud is how the block function works on Twitter.
Very good.
It does.
And if you literally don't follow me, but then just jump in my timeline to
that
mock
hurts.
me or do something like that, I'm just going to block you.
Mm.
No questions asked. I don't care who you are.
I will say this. I laughed very hard last night because an apparent Jays fan was mad at me because I tweeted out like, anybody want to talk about the refs? But his handle was like at Husker Bob or whatever it was. Joe Husker. And I was like, bro, it says Husker in your handle. Why are you calling me a douchebag? You kept calling me that over and over and over. Like, all right, I'm just going to
Why do
mute
people
you.
get so triggered after our college basketball games around
It's
here?
so wild.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There is an obscene reaction to every
Yeah.
single one of them.
Yeah, the trolls are really bad. They're
Definitely.
really, really bad. And it
Yeah.
makes me, I've always used to wonder, man, how cool would it be if we had 2 major college football programs in the
Oh
state?
no!
Now I'm really glad there's not.
Never ever. We can
Because
unite.
as bad as it gets after nights like last night, it would be a bazillion times worse
for football, it'd be
if there were 2
If there was
major
an
college
Auburn-
football program. Yeah, if there was an Auburn to Nebraska's Alabama,
Oh,
Yeah, it'd be
it
hell.
would be absolutely the worst.
people would be mad at us constantly for
Yeah.
not talking about one or the other,
Yeah.
and then talking about one
What
or the
city would
other.
it be? Would it be Omaha, or do you think it'd be
It'd
like
be- well,
Kearney?
no,
Creighton
Creighton
used
used to-
it'd be Creighton used to have
Creighton
a
used to
football
have a team.
before
True.
World War II.
I like their old logo better.
Omaha had a football
Whose
team
old logo?
before.
The old Creighton logo, where it was just the disapproving blue jay in the sweater.
Oh, yeah, I like that, Jay.
Yeah, old school.
I want
Billy.
that on a shirt.
Old Billy.
Trigger Jay.
There's a few. You can get a few of those out there. They have
I think home field might have.
home field, I believe, does.
Yeah, we
the,
miss old Billy with the yellow beak.
Yeah, Yellow Beak Billy.
Now he's Alien Billy.
Alien.
Alien.
Yeah, have you seen his eyes? He looks like an alien. Have you seen New Billy?
Yeah,
He looks like an
many,
alien.
many
Have you
times.
seen this? Have you heard about this?
No, I don't remember seeing him last night.
He was up by me.
Oh, he
He
was
was hanging
okay.
out with
For some reason,
I
I
see
don't
it.
remember seeing him on
Thank
the
you,
floor,
Nick.
I
dancing
see
around
it.
and
Oh,
doing
wow.
his Billy thing.
He's just got like the black eyes.
Home field
Yeah.
only has the new logo. That's a bummer.
I love it. Look at it's such a good logo.
Somebody out
He
there.
just looks so
has it.
perturbed.
I think maybe Charlie
that's
Hustle.
old Billy.
Look at Charlie Hustle.
Who's Charlie Hustle?
Charlie Hustle is another one of
does
those-
Pete
Josh
Rose,
just wants
why
his-
is Pete Rose doing Jay's gear?
I don't trust somebody named Charlie Hustle.
Yeah,
That's
it's a t-shirt.
Pete
cover.
Rose's nickname
Mm.
because someone mocked him because he was always hustling all the time, and so I can't remember who gave him the nickname. He said, "Oh, there
like this
goes
one.
old Charlie Hustle."
Josh, what's wrong? You don't like Nike or Adidas?
No, home field. I like home because it's vintage. It's vintage. I'm a vintage guy. Wait, you're out on vintage?
That's vintage is fine.
Does Creighton have any Creighton Nike gear? Like
yes.
with the old J?
Yes.
Oh,
I do. Yeah.
Where is it? Okay.
I was actually at Lawler's a couple weeks ago.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Lawler's Custom Sportswear.
Yes,
That's right.
Lawler's.
Nice.
They
Lawler's
sell
does
Jay's
great
stuff.
work.
There it is. Yeah. Creighton Blue Jays with the Nike swoosh.
Bingo.
Now there's wants to know my location. Now I'm closing that window. No, thanks.
Let them know where you are, Josh.
Nah,
We already know where you're at.
I'm here.
He's already here.
I'm already
It's
here.
already here.
Now you can get your gear.
Oh, I see that.
I'm good. I'll get it for you though. Get you a nice Creighton t-shirt.
I have.
Oh, they got the
I've got a
baseball
lot of
tee.
gear. I got a lot of gear.
3/4
Yeah, you
sleeve.
do.
I'm in
Oh yeah,
good
they got
shape.
great stuff.
I'm in good shape with gear.
We're team Lawlers.
We are Team Lawlers.
Douglas writes in, I wonder if Jays fans who are complaining about the end of the game call were okay with the Chiefs holding call that won them the Super Bowl. Eerily similar, both were holds IMO, or how about the Rams holding the previous Super
Oh
Bowl?
yeah, we got that. We got
hold
that
is a
email.
hold is a hold.
We got that exact email, I believe.
I was pumped that the Chiefs won because I don't want the Eagles to win. So that call was a good call, in my opinion. Also, I had Chiefs plus 1.5, so that was nice too. John?
You guys will have your time to talk about this.
Plenty of time.
Yeah.
Plenty of time.
No, I don't want to offend the aristocrats.
You can
this joke-
disrespect
I
the
need you to-
Chiefs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now I don't know. I don't know. The
Well,
joke.
Josh, sadly, you are one of them, so I
One
don't
of
want
the
to
who?
offend you.
One of the aristocrats?
Yes, the aristocrats, the
that like the
aristocracy
libs?
who are like, I don't I don't like to talk.
Oh, I don't talk about officials.
Officiating.
No.
Officials don't
No, if you want to
decide
bitch about that, then
games.
bitch about the stupid like Baylor Shireman 3 that he took that barely hit the front of the rim. Like, it's the same thing, right? That was a lost possession, just like the end of the game was.
What does that have to do with the officiating?
Well, that was a bad decision by him. Bad calls happen by refs. Bad shots happen by players. That's
Well-
how I always view this stuff. But I know
yeah,
that I know that you and I disagree.
Right, it's all there.
Do you want to have Jack come in? Do you want Jack to do the show today?
No, I don't want Jack to do the show today.
Because I know you guys love complaining about the refs. So
No, actually, I don't love complaining about the refs.
Yeah,
it's literally
It's time and
talking
place.
you're
about
very good at
talking about referees, bad officials, rules, bad rules, rule changes,
Matt Rule.
instant replay, changes to instant replay, and all of that is, in my opinion, the worst thing about sports. And second place isn't even in the rearview mirror. You can't even see second place.
Michael Rose Ivy kneeling.
See, I don't.
Dumb
That's
debates.
sports tangential.
Okay.
That's not. That's more societal.
Fair.
I'm talking about things that are
Brittany
literally
Griner.
only things that. See, again, sports tangential.
Okay.
But like, it's all about sports. Talking about that is the worst thing about sports.
It sucks.
Absolutely, not even close.
I like talking
I
about-
don't like having to talk about it.
But
I
you'll
don't
do
like
your
having to
due
acknowledge it.
diligence for God and country.
Time and place. This is a conversation worth having, Josh.
Time
it
and
is.
place.
It
Okay.
w- It was
Then we'll talk about it.
just as the one in
No,
in the
I
Super
hate.
Bowl
I mean,
was.
but that's the problem. Unfortunately, the trolls see it and they
It
think,
triggers
they
everything.
think that
Everyone's
you're
triggered.
blaming the game on the officials. No, that's just part and parcel of everything that happened. But the aristocracy does not want you to even acknowledge that, as if you don't talk about it, it will magically go away and it will get better.
Oh, I'm not saying that. They're always going to suck.
Well,
they're always going to suck.
then you need to talk to your fellow members of the aristocracy.
All right, sounds good. I'll call the meeting. By the way, now people are tweeting screenshots of the Chiefs-Eagles play. I don't care. No, it's a weekend.
Oh,
Yes.
we're going. Let's
Send
go back to
all
that.
your
Yeah.
pictures
I
of the
don't
Chiefs
care.
Eagles
Let's
play
talk about that again.
Josh, you
at Josh
Streisand,
Tweederson.
you
Oh,
send it
Streisand
to him.
yourself, Josh.
Yeah, I really
Send
did.
it to him.
Is there any more close calls, missed calls that we should talk about and just wind them all into this conversation?
Sure.
All right. Which one? Let's bring back the debate. Brandon
82
Riley.
Penn State. Oh wait, that wasn't a close call.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
One
Don
of our
Dankinger. Let's bring him
was
in.
that
That
the
was
Cardinals
the
Cardinals
Royals?
85
World
World
Series.
Series. Yeah.
John and I had a huge debate about the Brandon Riley touchdown catch against Michigan State.
Yes.
yeah, where he ran out of bounds.
He
and
got
was
pushed
illegal.
out of bounds. I argued he got pushed out of bounds.
Well,
Very good call
He-
by the ref.
He didn't get
John
pushed.
and Nick Baugh, though, were like, bad call.
No, they
Sad.
He didn't get
Well, they're
pushed out
Nebraska
of bounds.
Exactly.
haters. They didn't want Nebraska.
But he didn't get pushed out of
Bingo.
bounds.
John said,
He
bring
was
back
direct-
Bo.
He was. It was like there was a.
Hey,
A-
the
a guy saying,
defensive
"Go this
back
way."
had the position, and and Brandon Riley had a choice. He could either go through the defensive back, go around him to one side, or go around him the other side. He chose the side out of bounds.
But he got shoved. It was a massive push. It's like the Bush push.
Just like last
If you're
night in
going to
the
be a
Creighton
part of
game.
the aristocracy, you better bring your. You sure you do need an updated Kugler vision or
oh,
something?
would you stop it?
Because there was no push.
Nate says you should have Ravi on to talk about how bad the officiating was. He's still talking about it. Ravi will join us tomorrow.
Ravi will join us tomorrow.
Ravi was right up in there.
Yeah,
He
he's tweeting pictures. I know where you live, ref.
I'm surprised he didn't get
And I
hit
know
with
what you
any of the flying debris because he was sitting right over there.
We need to investigate Ravi. He had to take a selfie of himself.
That was great. And
just to prove that he was there.
the Josh Photoshop was.
Josh.
Did you see this? Because you're obviously frustrated last night, so you probably logged off of Twitter.
It was pretty good.
Let me show you. Look
So
at this.
some guy called out. Ravi was like, "Hey, I was here," and some guy called out Ravi for not being there, and Ravi was like, "I'm here." Took a selfie of himself.
Yep. And then Josh was like, "He's not. I'm right next to him."
He photoshopped him.
Classic.
Good picture.
Classic.
I like it.
Chance says, talk about the refs' robbery of the Detroit Lions in the 2014 wild card. That was a very good pickup of the flag when they played the Dallas Cowboys. A good no-call chance. I think we'd all agree. Good no-call. Now
Yes,
people are
we
tweeting
would.
about Dez catching
What
it.
about
be
Dez
great.
catching it or
Screw
not catching
you.
it?
He
Yeah.
caught it. Took like 800 steps. 800 steps. Josh sends in a picture of Eric Crouch's head getting turned around.
Oh,
That was a bad no call. That was a bad no call.
did it matter?
Nope. Did not matter
What?
at all. Did not matter.
They don't have effects on the game.
Had no impact
Yeah.
on the game. Kansas
Wow.
State won the game.
Wow.
It's rare that calls do.
It was just something that happened. It was inconsequential to anything that happened anywhere. I still am amazed to this day that Eric Crouch did not perish of a broken neck.
I'm happy
he's alive.
I am very happy.
Alive and well.
That would have been bad.
And honestly, that was because I had to do the call-in show that night after that game.
Oh God!
And that was my biggest argument, was that the official was so negligent in his duties because he failed to protect the player.
He
had nothing to do about a 15-yard penalty, and if it would have extended a drive, it was all about you literally failed in your obligation to protect the player.
Which is why the face mask rule is in place.
Mask rule is in place in the first place.
Interesting. How about this text message coming in from Chris in Montana? Not to start a rift between Shaffer and Josh, but the Drew Pearson push was a horrible one back in the day. The original Hail Mary. It's a fine no call, in my opinion. Fine no call. John, thoughts?
Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad. First of all,
neither. Thank you.
I didn't think it was all that bad. Now, in the moment, I would have been very upset because Dallas won. But
good times.
But then the world came back into focus and everything was healed again when
I was born and they started sucking.
When they said that Dez didn't make the catch. So it all made up for itself, even though that didn't help the Vikings.
That's true.
It helped the Packers.
That's true.
Which then hurt the Vikings. So the Vikings still getting screwed, even when the karma gods say, hey, we got to make up for the Drew Pearson push-off. We're going to punish Dez. Oh, and the Packers get rewarded.
That's true.
See, the Vikings are always getting screwed.
Yeah, they really are. Speaking of getting screwed, here's a screenshot of the Saints. Remember the Saints Rams?
Oh, we can talk about the Saints Rams game that one time.
In all seriousness, this is a reason why just talking about anything to do with officiating or rules is the worst thing about sports.
Well, you're a Rams fan, right? I bet you'd like that one.
Because even when you get the benefit of a horrible call,
exactly,
you don't feel good about it. I still celebrate the fact they went to the Super Bowl.
And you called the Saints fans gumbo munchers the next day.
In fairness, I was using gumbo munchers before that game. Because they like gumbo.
They like gumbo.
Gumbo's good.
That's true.
But the way you say it, it's got disdain, you know?
There's a
little something there.
Why would I have disdain for
a little spice?
The Saints, the little old Saints who come marching in.
Didn't you get all triggered about like Hurricane Katrina and stuff like that?
Well, I would hope so. They did a lot of damage.
Katrina was bad.
It's okay to be mad at
with
Katrina.
The whole like they did this for the hurricane like kind of bit.
Well, on I was upset at ESPN because like 10 years later they were saying this was for Katrina. It's like it was 10 years ago. It's like saying Grand Island winning a state wrestling championship in 2000. Oh, they did it for the 8 tornadoes. It's like, no.
I was like, where's this one going?
I didn't know there was a tornado.
It was just a weird.
So it was like, what happened? Was there a terrorist
decision by ESPN?
I thought he was going to go the flooding route. All that flooding that happened.
Oh yeah, the floods.
Remember the floods?
For the 8 tornadoes.
It's just
this is for the October snowstorm.
It's just weird storytelling, is what it is. Just very weird.
If Creighton goes to the Final Four this year,
they should dedicate
it. This is for the snowstorm.
Well, our community underwent such a difficult time in that '97 snowstorm.
No.
That's why they won the Natty in '97. Nebraska football did it for the snowstorm.
It's true.
See, but we still haven't avenged the 1914 Easter tornado.
Oh
yeah,
God,
that needs its due.
So that.
What about the guy who lived on 69th
what about the guy
Street?
on 72nd?
Yeah, that guy.
Well, he's got to wait his turn in line.
Caller Jerry.
One natural disaster in Omaha at a time.
Do you finally concede that he was a real old, or do you still think he was doing a bit?
You know what?
Maybe
UNO making the Frozen Four. That made up for the Easter tornado. So maybe the next one can be for the 75 tornado.
Perfect.
What about Creighton making the College Cup? What did that one do? Was that
took care of the blizzard of 75?
Okay. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Creighton soccer. Thank you. We're finally moving past it.
Johnny Torres gets up. He's like,
we did this for all the people who had to dig out of 15 inches of snow in 1975.
We did it behind your strength and prayers.
Oh, I love this idea of just these teams giving thanks to those who survived random tragedies from 50 years prior. Oh,
Yeah, I can't
man.
wait till we get to the flood from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, well, it's going to take a while. We got like 30 more years.
Yeah, we got a bunch of
This
disasters.
is another reason why Nebraska football needs to get their stuff together
Because we got stuff.
We still haven't avenged the Hallam tornado.
Wow. Sanderson says those Grand Island tornadoes were a big deal for us of a certain age. When did these happen?
1980.
1980.
It was bad.
Before my time.
Really?
It literally was 8
Is this
tornadoes.
Night of the Twisters?
Yes,
Tornadoes?
Night of the Twisters. It was 8 tornadoes that literally
Tornadoes.
surrounded and
Nick.
attacked Grand Island.
Get shirts made.
and just sat there
Whoa.
the whole night. It was.
Oh, is this the movie? Is this movie about Grand Island?
Did they make a
TV
movie?
1996?
Yeah, I think they did make a movie about
What?
it.
No one saw it coming.
What did it air on?
Oh, wait, let's see. Is it? Yeah, it's about Nebraska.
Yeah,
Holy
yeah.
crap.
What channel did that air on?
It's a made-for-television disaster movie. Let's see.
It was
Is it like a
made-for-television
recreation?
Family
It was a
Channel.
disaster.
The Family Channel.
Oh,
Family
Like
Channel.
ABC Family. It's now Freeform.
Is it?
The film
Oh,
is
is that is it the
prologue.
same
It's
the
free-
Family
Yeah.
Channel
I know it's
doesn't
free
exist
for it.
anymore?
It's freeform now.
R.I.P.
Oh,
yeah.
ABC Family
Wait,
and the Family Channel are different.
Are those
right?
two different things?
No, the film premiered on the Family Channel, now Freeform, on
Oh.
February
My
11th,
God.
1996.
Yeah, it's
what a
freeform
terrible
now.
name change.
Should we pick this for the movie club?
Do they have like dramatic recreations of it? Like, do they have actor? Like,
No,
who's-
it's on YouTube.
Oh no!
An hour and 27 minutes.
Is it gonna look
God.
like?
perfect
Is
for
it
the
gonna be?
streamers.
Is it
Hey,
gonna
there
be
it
a
is. They're riding
discount
their
twister?
bikes. Probably.
It's already here. Does it look like
Nice.
Grand Island?
Yeah. Oh no, the guy fell.
Off
What
of
does
his
that have
bike?
to do
Yeah.
with tornadoes?
I don't know. It's the prologue, John. You know, you can't just start with the
Yeah,
tornado.
you got to do character building,
Yeah,
John.
exactly.
Yeah, it was a
Oh.
lovely day on whatever 1980.
In,
Yeah.
I think it was August. I think it was August in 1980.
August.
What was there to do in Carney in the 80s? They
No,
probably
No, Grand
or
Island.
Grand Island. I'm sorry.
It literally was Grand Island and only Grand Island. It was bad.
Mm.
Really, really bad. But
Tornadoes surrounded
fortunately, the Islanders avenged it many years later when they made the state finals.
True.
Reception. At the time of the film's release in 1996, Night of the Twisters received positive ratings when it aired on the Family Channel, but received very poor reviews from critics, many of whom criticized the special effects used in the film.
I bet
we
they-
have to watch it.
I think so. I think we have to watch it.
No.
What Roger Ebert think?
Yeah, 2 thumbs down.
Well, it's a made-for-TV movie. They don't review
it's,
those.
Yeah, it's not going to be very
Yeah.
good.
I don't know.
I bet that Chance says
It
this
got
one's for
critical
you.
reviews.
August of 2020 derecho. Remember the derecho?
Oh, the direction.
Oh man. Oh.
Was that the one? I'm trying to remember that. Oh yeah, that's the Mike Shaffer.
The
The
derecho?
Mike Shaffer derecho.
Yeah, the Shaffer wedding.
derecho
Mm.
that knocked the power out.
Yeah, that was July.
But
Oh,
it was
yeah.
but it was the nice
Happy anniversary.
it was the
Shave.
nice using of the donuts instead of a wedding cake that made up for the derecho.
That's true. Yeah, we already avenged that one.
Which, by the
Uh-huh.
way, unreasonably triggered my wife. She's like, I wanted wedding cake. Like,
Classic.
well,
My wife.
I mean, they're having donuts instead. It was,
Yeah.
you know,
That's what the young
it's
do.
A thing. Everybody does a different.
What did
bit
you
at
guys
their
do?
wedding
What did you
now.
guys do?
Something different?
Yeah,
Or
you did.
just, like,
Yeah,
for
did you
food?
do cake or
Yeah,
did
we had
you...
cake.
Yeah,
No, we
okay,
had
you
cake.
did
We
Very
let them
traditional.
eat cake.
You have cable though. You're very traditional.
I am.
You're an old soul.
I believe in tradition.
My friends did cupcakes that my other friend baked.
That's what
I would
Mike
miss
did.
the wedding cake is a very, very delicious form of cake.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why, you can get donuts anywhere.
Wow. I like that they had the pizza late at night. From Verse. Who's from? Grand Island.
Well, I guess then we should ask him if the 1980 Night of the Twisters has been properly avenged by a sports
Oh,
team.
good call.
True.
When
Or a
Tom
person.
Rathman was drafted by the 49ers.
The caller didn't hang out,
Oh.
but he said that he was born 9 months after
Whoa.
the Grand Island tornado.
Tornado baby.
Wow.
Tornado sex.
His parents were like, this might be our last time. And then they created a child.
That's got to be wild,
And
right?
so they
Being
and so they
surrounded
did
by
it without
tornadoes and doing that.
protection, figuring there was not going to be any consequences, and then 9 months later,
And
crap!
caller-
Here's baby
It's
Brent.
not the
Yeah.
consequences of our own actions.
Mm.
Yeah. Also, I forget that Nick says tornado and it's not a bit.
Yeah, I
Nader?
just do that.
Tornado.
That's fine. I've
Tornado.
accepted it.
Yeah.
Tornado. I didn't know I did that until you guys pointed it out.
Yep.
Yeah,
You learned a
did.
lot of stuff like that. You,
Gave me an existential
the
crisis.
first time you said Des Moines,
Des Moines.
Des Moines.
that was
Des Moines?
awesome. Yeah.
Des Moines.
I've been making an effort to try to say Des Moines,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it
yeah,
sounds
yeah.
it feels unnatural when I say it like
made
that.
fun of me when I said Lamar's the first time.
Yeah, then I was wrong.
And you were wrong.
But then we found
Yeah, it
out
is
what
Lamar's, Iowa.
was made from or named after.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I thought it was Lamar because it was French. It made
Silent
sense to me.
S.
Which is interesting. So he says he said Lamar, even though Des Moines, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Interesting,
But you go Des
Not very
Moines.
consistent.
I blame my mom being from Florida and that having some kind of effect on some of my speech.
Florida.
My mom.
I think that's why I say tornado. But I didn't inherit how she says hail because she calls it hell, which is hilarious. She's like, it's helling outside.
It's already here.
Like, you're not wrong, Mom, but
What the heck is going on?
Well, I mean, you get the people who like to say Washington.
instead of boil, she'll say bowl.
I always like when people get mad at you for saying Washington,
Washington.
even though you are doing the bit.
I'm doing the
He's
best.
just doing the bit.
Yeah.
It used to annoy me, but it's kind of satisfying to say.
I forget. Do you say roof or roof? I think you do roof as a bit now, too,
I think you
right?
do
Yeah,
rough.
a little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
But the best part was back when we had a governor, stick to sports,
Hello.
who did political commercials and always, because it's fanciful nowadays too.
Go to
when you're,
St.
when
Louis?
you're frustrated with the political system to say those people in Washington,
Mm-hmm.
and our former governor would
Washington.
say
Those
Washington,
people in St. Louis.
but he wasn't being ironic.
You don't think he was doing a bit? You don't think he was trying to indoctrinate
that's-
himself?
No, I think
Well, he is one
he's-
of those people in
I
Washington
think
now.
he's the one that. I think he's the one that
Does it
does
unironically.
it. Yeah.
How about this from Matt? Screw those GI tornadoes. Now, you ready for the reason why?
I hate those GI.
There's a hill by Ryder Park called Tornado Hill where supposedly they buried all the
Buried?
rubble there, and we had to run the hill for baseball conditioning. It was gross. So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
triggered not because of the damage, but because he had to run hills.
Wow. And the hill was
They made a
created
hill
by
out
a
of all
tornado.
the junk.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was a
Tornado.
lot
It's
of
fun
junk
to say, isn't it?
because we were
No.
there the week after it happened. I remember seeing all the damage. It was for a little 8-year-old.
Could you imagine 8 tornadoes just surrounding you?
It was crazy. You
No.
You really should look up the map
A
of
couple people had a kid about it.
of the path of all 8 tornadoes
Really?
because it's amazing. Because they
I'm
literally
going to freeform after this.
it is. It's. And by the
Grand
way,
Island
that's a
tornado
terrible
map.
name
It is
change.
horrible. It's really bad.
What
Is
does
it like-
freeform mean?
Is it this one?
No. There's a graphic.
Well,
I think
a
it was in the
graph.
Grand Island newspaper.
This one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Wow.
Can you send that to me? I'm curious.
Sure, Nick.
Thank you.
I mean, you could just search the Grand Island tornado map on Google.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be the right
So
one.
if anyone is from Hall County and could tell us if the Night of the Twisters has been properly avenged by a sports team, I would like to
But
know.
like 8 tornadoes, it's going to have to be something big. I mean, that's a big time disaster.
Maybe that's
Well,
what that guy's
yeah.
baseball coach was trying to do. That's why he made him run up that hill.
Avenge this.
Uh-huh.
We need to do this for the tornadoes.
We do it with good old fashioned hard work.
Speaking of baseball, we're having a baseball coach on our show today.
That's right.
Baseball.
Evan Porter's going to join us here in
Evan.
a couple hours.
Yep.
Omaha baseball got underway last weekend.
He's a friend of the program. He loves our
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask him what's it better to be, a friend of the program or a baseball coach? Probably friend of the program.
I don't
I bet he
know.
takes more pride in being a friend of the Grum.
Why?
Why not? What do you mean why? It's
That's
us.
his livelihood. It's his job.
Listen to the discussion we've had in the crossover. This is inspiring stuff. Maybe we could ask him if he will win one for.
What they'll avenge?
Yeah.
Avenge?
Yeah.
So,
If you win a championship, can you say we did this for? What about the College World Series storm of 2011?
Oh, the TD Ameritrade tragedy?
I was thinking of that freak storm that took us off the air in December. Remember that day?
That
Oh, the
was
Derecho.
Yeah.
That was weird.
That was another one?
Dodge turned into a river.
I thought it was derecho.
Derecho. I'm not sure how to pronounce
We
it.
said it like 8 times in this
Yeah,
crossover,
what happens
Nick.
when there's a derecho?
Yeah.
Derecha.
The Derecha.
All right.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
Thanks, Connor.
Bye.
Thank you.
We'll get rolling on Dumb Debates Wednesday next on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
If Mahomes was a horse in the Kentucky Derby, do you think he would have got to run in the Derby the way he was limping?
One-way ticket to the glue factory for Patrick Mahomes.
Take him out back. Well, here's the advantage that we humans have over horses. We can communicate our wants and intentions. Horses can't be like, look, I want to run through this pain.
I can go, coach.
I want to run. I have to do this. This is important to me.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Your Wednesday afternoon forecast will include overcast skies and blustery conditions. I'm tracking the afternoon high at 30 degrees. With the north winds, it will feel closer to the mid to lower teens through most of the day. For tonight, there is a winter weather advisory in effect. We're tracking the possibility of light snow by Thursday morning, upwards to an inch of accumulation possible. I'm meteorologist Anthony Copeland for KTV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Shop Sid Dillon Chevrolet, where we sell more Chevys than anyone in Nebraska. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo, or at SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Hi, friends. Kent Pavelka courtside getting ready for this year's matchup between the Average Roofing Companies and the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. The average roofers are just that, average at best, not very impressive. The Rooferees, above and beyond the opponent, more dependable, service that exceeds the norm, good sportsmanship, fairness, and integrity. You know them, you love them, and they're ready to win for you. Make the right call with John Higgins Weather Guard. It's tip-off time with the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees.
At 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning, our comfort specialist can handle any heater repair. Call 402-788-1234 for $50 off any repair.
Always on time, or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county. Trust 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning to help keep your heater running strong. Visit McCarthy's1hour.com to schedule your preseason tune-up for just $79.
Always on time, or you don't pay time.
Terms and conditions may apply. Independently owned and operated, licensed in their respective state or county.
Do you like to shoot fireworks? Would you like to get paid to shoot fireworks? J&M Displays wants you. Help shoot an Omaha Storm Chasers game, Memorial Park display, or any of the major shows in Western Iowa and all of Nebraska. If you like to travel, J&M covers Nebraska, Kansas, and most of Missouri. They offer free training and great daily pay rates, which makes it a perfect part-time job. Visit jnmdisplays.com and click the Join Our Team tab to find out more. J&M Fireworks.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
This edition of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone is proudly presented by Union Bank and Trust. The program starts now.
KOZN. Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Yeah, we can't bring these conversations on the air.
Definitely not.
Nope.
So that's why we're going to talk about refs.
Okay, I guess we're going to bring these conversations on the air. So, what if they had parachutes?
Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
Howdy doody, everybody. Welcome to Ice Station Zebra, apparently.
Sucks.
Nice.
Dang it. I thought because they had canceled the winter weather advisory down there in Lincoln Land, but
looks like it's going to be doing this for a couple of hours.
Son of a
couple of hours.
We love ice. Thanks, Josh.
No, you can't blame me for this.
This is you.
I didn't say the ice was done.
It's all ice now.
It's already here.
Yeah. Great point. Amazing Daniel. Someday Fremont will win something and avenge the Pathfinder Hotel.
I don't get this joke. What's the
The
Pathfinder?
Pathfinder Hotel in 1976 was a downtown hotel back in the days when you had
Downtown Fremont.
Well,
Historic downtown.
Well,
I
it
always
is
hate how every small
historic.
town you go to. No, they can't be historic if
Yes,
the town
it
is
can.
like
It's been
20
the
people.
town was founded in the 1870s.
I guess that's history technically, but
Yeah,
it's not
it's historic.
Was it a railroad town?
It's historic.
Historic.
Well, I mean, we have railroads there. Yeah.
Historic means famous or important in history or potentially so.
Yeah.
Fremont is not famous nor important in history, nor potentially so. No offense to Fremont.
That's BS.
So anyway, what happened
Without
in this hotel?
Fremont, there's no Jerry Godowski. With no Jerry Godowski, there's no 1989 season. The Nebraska football would have disappeared as we know it.
There would have been a Godowski. He just wouldn't have been born in Fremont.
Yeah. He'd have been born at that in the land.
Well, anyway, the Pathfinder was a hotel in downtown Fremont. There was a natural gas explosion.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Jeez, Daniel, that's dark, bro.
It is dark.
Well, again, natural disasters and/or tragedies are usually dark.
When did this happen?
Is there
76?
such thing as a good
Whoa!
tragedy?
That's a cool looking hotel.
I told you.
What happened to Fremont? Why doesn't it look cool anymore?
Because the Pathfinder blew up.
Is this ruin the rest of the town?
I
Man.
actually did a lot of damage. It blew out windows and a lot of other buildings.
Old-timey pictures remind me that cities and towns used to look way cooler than
Told
they
you
do
it's
now.
historic downtown Fremont.
All right, that's pretty historic looking. Wow, look at the front entryway.
Oh, it was very
we
elegant.
need to build hotels to look like this
that was
again.
make hotels great
again. Thank you, Nick. Let's get hats.
I'm not going to disagree.
They won't be red hats. We'll have different colored hats this time.
What's the Fremont? Does Fremont have a city color?
Black and yellow is the Fremont Tigers colors. We could have
Okay.
yellow hats with black font.
Hawkeye
Make
colors. I dig
hotels
it.
great again. Man, God, seriously, old stuff looks way cooler than new stuff.
Told you.
It's a nice hotel.
I told you.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's get some shirts.
I was
This
just a
one's
little
for-
millennial then. I didn't remember it. I didn't
Yeah,
remember
you're
that
just
day.
a young
But I do
tyke.
remember my parents kept the newspapers from that week, and I would read.
Oh, do they
the
still have it?
articles. I don't know if they still have it.
Yeah.
But I remember reading them when I was small, just to kind of learn the history. It was
Mhm.
like, man, this is kind of scary.
Yeah.
And then I would ask, Mom, where was I?
Probably being annoying as hell.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, you could hear it all around town.
I'd imagine.
'Cause
Explosions
was-
are big.
It was pretty bad.
That's true.
Pretty bad.
John says it shook our house.
I believe 4
Wow.
people died.
Jeez.
Yo, no.
I think it was 4. I don't remember
So
for
did
sure.
the whole hotel just kind of go up, or did they just demolish it later on?
Yeah, they had to take it down with a wrecking ball.
Tony says
It didn't disintegrate the hotel, and in the explosion just was an explosion, but it's an old brick hotel. It didn't collapse the hotel. But
Tony says, what is Archbishop Bergen won? Like 30 million state titles in girls basketball? Hasn't the Pathfinder Hotel been avenged enough?
oh, that's true. Fremont Bergen did. They doubled up in boys and boys basketball and football, and I think 79. So I think that is
So they did it for the-
Daniel.
well,
that
plus-
is the avenge of
And
the
I'm not going to
Pathfinder.
pay a quarter because I'm not talking about myself, but Kearney in track and field had won like 15 state championships in a row. And then you know who finally beat them? Fremont beat them.
Oh, Fremont used to be really good in track.
They were when
with
I was
the
in high school.
aforementioned Jerry Godowski.
Nice. So there you go. Yeah, the hotel has been fixed.
So there you go, Daniel. We have avenged the Pathfinder.
Chad says RIP to Fremont's Pathfinder, and it's a Nissan Pathfinder on fire.
Okay, stop.
That was my first car.
Too soon, Chance. My dad had
It's
a
been
Pathfinder.
48 years.
It was horrible.
I
It was-
loved my
it was-
Pathfinder.
This Pathfinder sucked.
Well,
now, part of it was because of me.
We just lost the Nissan endorsement.
No, just this version of it. The new Pathfinders are
Oh.
cool. This Pathfinder, it sucked because I crashed it once, and then my dad was driving on the interstate, and the hood popped up because of me. Thank God my dad didn't die.
My first car was a 94 Pathfinder.
Wait, it was because
great.
My dad's Pathfinder was a similar.
It was because of you. What were you hanging out in the
No,
front,
so-
pulling the latch?
No, The latch got damaged
Dad,
when
what
I
does this
crashed
do?
it. Yeah, it got damaged when I crashed it.
Oh,
my
I
dad didn't
see.
realize it got that damaged because we thought it was just the fender got bent really bad.
It
Just
was
thought
not a
that.
fender bender.
It was not. Well, it was.
It was a latch buster.
And then whoosh,
Where
and
was your
so-
dad when this happened?
It was on the interstate somewhere.
No, it was on
Yeah,
the interstate?
I'm pretty sure he was on the interstate over like by 60th or something.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So then he had to tie it down with bungee cords.
Yeah.
And then thankfully my dad got a way better job and was like, see you later, Pathfinder. Got a new car.
Mine's still around somewhere back
Man.
at my
Yeah.
dad's house.
Not great.
That thing
Had
it
a
would
different
lock
colored
itself.
door.
Oof.
God, it sucked.
Mine
my
would lock
God, that's
itself
terrible.
randomly. My
Yeah.
dad never believed me.
Sounds-
And then I left it at home when I went to college. And he's like, hey, did you know your car locks itself? I'm like, yeah.
Dad, I've been trying to tell you for years. Yeah.
Then at one point, my key busted off in the lock, which was great because I kept the other half and I was the only one who could ever get into it. The other half of the key was just lodged in there.
Lord. Not great.
Daniel says Bergen doesn't count.
Bergen doesn't count. Well, I just said that Fremont won
But Fremont
and field.
track, Daniel. Fremont track. Don't forget, we were good at. And
Yeah.
cross country. They've had some really good cross country teams.
Oh, yeah. I know. I competed against them. They were good.
Because there's absolutely nothing to do in Fremont. The only thing people can do well is run.
Mm-hmm. At the golf course. I was where one of the meets was at, and he had to run up that huge hill.
Ah!
Man. No, come on. I'm telling stories about the old days. I'm not talking about it now.
All right, coming up on today's program.
What do we got? No Sipple. He canceled. Cancel culture strikes again.
Yeah, Sip will join us tomorrow.
Okay.
Mike Shaffer.
Awesome. Awesome.
A little more, well, obviously on recruiting. And Evan Porter, the head coach of your Omaha Mavs baseball
Creighton
team,
and yes, UNO.
That's right.
Da-na-na.
who is a friend of the Grum.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Dumb Debates Day.
Oh, boy.
Send in your dumb debates, please.
It's the first time we've all had it together in a while.
What, last week?
No, remember,
I
Nick
wasn't
was
here
gone
last week.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Oh.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been a long time.
I guess it has
Been a
been
while.
I guess it has been a while. Send in your dumb debates, JTech Construction's own Twitter feed at USC1620. The email address is John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com. That's the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. Answer the phone on the first ring and do not high step to the phone.
Oh.
And I did mention the JTech Construction's own
You
Twitter
already said
feed,
it,
and
yep.
that's your Rooferees lineup, powered by the Rooferees, John Higgins, Weather Guard. All right, I guess we'll have to talk about referees.
Oh, God.
Well, about the game last night, and where's Creighton go from here?
Good question.
Because there's a lot of questions about that.
Mm-hmm.
And logical ones, too.
Okay.
So stand by for more on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Shop Woodhouse Buick GMC first and experience the difference, and trust me, you will at their climate-controlled indoor showroom, 119th and I. Plenty of new and pre-owned inventory for you to find that perfect car, truck, or SUV, like the 23 Buick Envision Essence. Check this out right now. Great vehicle, unique design that enhances fuel economy, reduces wind noise, panoramic moonroof. Take it for a test drive today. See it in person, 119th and I, or online at WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. They've streamlined the process. They made it easy on you. 119th and I, WoodhouseBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs.
I never really thought about tools until I bought a house in the suburbs. It's like this weird homeowner test if I need a tool for a project and don't have it. And my neighbor Ted loves to give me that look when I ask to borrow a pole saw. A year ago, I didn't even know pole saws existed. And now I gotta borrow one from Ted? What is happening?
Anyway, when you save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto, that's the easy part of adjusting to the suburbs. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
Your 13th ranked Omaha Maverick hockey team is third in the NCHC and has secured home ice for the playoffs for the first time since the opening of Baxter Arena. Because of you, Maverick fans, they're fourth in the nation in attendance. Get your tickets now for the final home series and senior weekend against number 5 St. Cloud on February 24th and 25th, and for the playoffs on March 10th and 11th. Let's rock the Baxter. Get your tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS or at omavs.com/tickets.
Email us on the Equitable inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can hit me up, agree, disagree, tell me your thoughts on life at Hanley at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
In a house in Omaha, people gather in the kitchen. They don't talk about school and work. They talk about doctors and surgeries. They're the families of Ronald McDonald House Charities in Omaha. and the kitchen is where they come together to share the struggles their children are facing. For these families, it's the little things like a home-cooked meal even while far from home that make the biggest difference. Volunteer to prepare a meal by visiting rmhcomaha.org.
Listen to Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay Overtime, the Creighton men's basketball postgame show on 1620 The Zone. Live from DJ's Dugout downtown. It's right after every home game, presented by Barry Law. Exclusively on your home for the Creighton Blue Jays. 1620 The Zone.
O'Reilly. Count on the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts to recommend the best products for your vehicle and budget. Get maximum cooling system performance for 10 years or 300,000 miles with Peak Long Life Universal Premixed Antifreeze and Coolant. Now just $6.99 after mail-in rebate. Limit supply. See store for details. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
This is Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
The story of that commercial break is it's over.
On 1620 The Zone.
Well, last night it was disappointing, to say the least, for Creighton as they fell to Marquette 73-71. Game that they controlled in the first half, but it quickly fell apart in the second half under a barrage of turnovers. And yes, I suppose we'll get it out of the way here now, because I'm with you. I don't like to belabor on officiating because it's something you can't control, and it's like I said, it's the worst thing about sports. It really is. Just anything to do with officiating and rules.
It's not fun. It's not enjoyable.
It's not.
And there's
not even talking like about the timing changes that they're proposing in college football and stuff like that.
It's not like that's a good time
because
either.
most of the time, otherwise well-meaning people try to make things too perfect, and I do think that's one of the problems that we have with officiating and across all sports.
Definitely
is we have. With instant replay and high pixel cameras and HD, and
it's never been easier to see like when a call is wrong than it is right now. And look, I would say that problem is only going to get worse in the coming years because technology is going to get better.
It's never going and it's never been harder to officiate.
Yeah, and not like this is my point is always, and like I know I said it in jest, but like Baylor Shireman misses a 3, and that one shot, and I have a very specific one in mind from last night. I don't know if you remember the one I'm talking about, but it was just a very deep 3. And it's like that shot affects the game, obviously, given the ultimate outcome. But we don't talk about that. We talk about officials. And I guess my point has always been like, if Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL, if he is going to make mistakes, like we should also expect mistakes to be made by the officials. Now, I know that a lot of our frustrations, you and mine specifically, do come back to they don't really have to answer for those mistakes. Patrick Mahomes, he throws a back-breaking interception. What happens after the game? He talks about it. He has to answer to it. The refs really don't.
No, they never do.
That said, like, look, a ref having to give a couple of quotes isn't really going to change how good he does.
And
right?
it's beyond that level of accountability, but it's also, when a coach or a player publicly criticizes the officials in a press conference, the conference or the league will fine that person.
Correct.
And they are so quick to quickly put out the press release that says Coach XYZ got fined $10,000 today for.
Whereas any punishment of the official happens behind closed doors and we don't know about it. Yeah, we don't know about it.
And so that's why I've always said officiating is the one public entity that never has to be truly held accountable to the public. But that's neither here nor there. Yes, there were definitely questionable calls last night. That wasn't the reason the game was won or lost ultimately. But, it's like the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? It's the easiest thing to harp on. And
especially when it
about.
happens late.
And yes, it happened late. You had 3 very critical calls happen late. You had the foul on Kalkbrenner trying to get a rebound that was botched. The Nemhard foul, trying to get the steal, which certainly you can discuss on both sides. And then the final 3-quarter court heave attempt that Shireman was, in my opinion, fouled on. But then, of course, one of the answers to that is, well, you're not going to call the foul back there, to which I would say stop, because that's literally situational officiating.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like there's a heat chart, right? Where
You're
if the
too far
foul
away.
happens in the red zone, it's a foul. But if the same thing happens in the white zone and it gradually changes from dark red to pink,
Well, and that's why those
to
types
cream
of
to white. I mean, it's a foul is a foul.
And that's what we talked about with the Super Bowl, right? Like that was one of the criticisms of you can't call that penalty in that moment. It wasn't. Was it in a way? It really wasn't even. Was it a penalty? Or was it not a penalty? It was. You can't call that specific penalty in that moment in time,
right?
And as always, like that's not how it should work. Though I understand that at times that's how it does work.
Yeah.
And so that's the weird part about this discussion is like I think I agree with you, about officiating does indeed exist in all sports at all levels.
Yeah.
So that's not going away anytime soon.
But it went away in a flurry of turnovers. And it was such a dramatic change because in the first half, Creighton had 6 turnovers, but 2 of those alone were on offensive fouls. So that's not a live ball turnover. And we talked about it yesterday. The live ball turnovers is really how Marquette's bread is buttered defensively. Now, I also thought that Marquette played well in the half court. And that also was a big plus for them. I thought they did a nice job of trying to, neutralize Ryan Kalkbrenner. And the Jays, unfortunately, they got really sloppy in the first 7-8 minutes of the game. And I think for the first time all season, and I've talked about this many times, basketball is a unique game in that every player on the floor plays both sides. They play the offense and the defense, and it changes that quick. And a performance, good or bad, on one end of the floor can lead to an equal good or bad performance on the other end of the floor, just simply because let's say you're playing and you're putting up shots, you're missing, you're constantly being frustrated on offense, you can't score, and that can lead to effort lag and maybe lack of focus because you're kind of caught up in your feels, or you're distracted, or you're frustrated, and that can lead to lapses and mistakes on the defensive end. And I thought during the stretch where the lead ballooned up to 10 for Marquette was maybe the first time this year where I saw a little bit of lapse on the defensive end caused by frustration on the offensive end.
And that showed itself the most as the second half began. And those, it's just like the game is suddenly, hey, it's a 2-point game.
Mm-hmm.
There's a timeout, right? Matt called a timeout before. I believe it was a tie. And then, I mean, it just kept on going.
Yeah.
And it was crazy how it went from, like, I thought Creighton should have been up by more in the first half because there were some Shireman misses, early. There were multiple good looks that a bunch of different players had. And yet at the half, you got to be feeling good. It's like, geez, didn't even play the best basketball could have played and, have a lead. At one point it was 12. It was down to 8 at the half. And how fast it turned in the second half where, the game begins with a dunk, an awesome dunk, and the place is going wild to, you could hear a pin drop for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And just how quiet and how taken out of the game that the fans were early on in the second half.
Yeah. More on this coming up, and we've got some audio too from Mac, because beyond, the fouls and whether, the officiating was good, bad, or indifferent, obviously there was other conversation surrounding the game.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have some video and some audio for you when we continue. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, 402-951-1620. If you have thoughts, You can also use that as a text line, 402-951-1620. And we will be back with more of Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Dust. It's in the living room, the bedroom, and the bathroom. It's also in your lungs. Let's fix that, shall we? Duck Defense Midwest offers a comprehensive system that cleans, disinfects, filters, and purifies the air. They'll make your home healthier and improve the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com right now for a special air duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. Cleanairradio.com.
Millions of Americans are facing mental health challenges, and many within your organization could be too. Give your team the tools to learn the signs and start the conversation with mental health first aid training. Call 211 or visit UnitedWayMidlands.org to sign up for free today.
Hi, friends. Kent Pavelka courtside getting ready for this year's matchup between the Average Roofing Companies and the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. The average roofers are just that, average at best, not very impressive. The Rooferees, above and beyond the opponent, more dependable, service that exceeds the norm, good sportsmanship, fairness, and integrity. You know them, you love them, and they're ready to win for you. Make the right call with John Higgins Weather Guard. It's tip-off time with the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
My, how time flies. Nick Handley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout. Did you know DJ's is celebrating its 30-year anniversary? Yep, everyone at DJ's Dugout says, thank you, Omaha Metro, for your amazing support since 1993. DJ's truly loves the communities they serve, and it's an honor to serve you, friends and guests, for so many years. Here's to another 30 years. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since '72. Be a part of the Host Coffee team today. If you'd like to work for a trusted and loyal family-owned company that understands the needs of working families, Host Coffee has your opportunity. Apply at hostcoffee.net.
For unmatched cardiac expertise, put your heart in the right place with Nebraska Medicine, where you'll find the most heart advances in the state, telehealth appointments to make your care even more convenient, and a genetics clinic to help avoid future heart issues. With multiple locations, our world-leading care is just a heartbeat from home. For matters of the heart, this is where you begin. Visit nebraskamed.com/heart.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no per-ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Welcome back to Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Be careful out there. It's icing.
That
Yay.
car's driving way too fast.
I think everyone's driving way too fast, but oh well. Please be careful. Don't be one of those who are driving too fast today.
It's sloppy outside, and T says it was sloppy last night. I feel like the sloppy play, bad shots, turnovers, and not getting Culk the ball is being excused by the officials talk. The referees were bad for both teams. Look, that's why we got the official stuff out of the way, because then you can talk about some of the other stuff. Yeah, Kalkbrenner, I mean, obviously you weren't listening to the TV broadcast. You were calling the game. That was something that they brought up a lot throughout the second half, especially, there was at one point a graphic that popped up, and and it was late, and he was 2 for 3. And it's like,
Yeah.
wow, 2 for 3.
Yeah, we mentioned
you know?
it on the broadcast.
Yeah.
It's like he's only 2 for 3 right now,
Yeah.
and a lot. They brought doubles.
Yeah.
They made the passing angles different, and if there's a weakness, and this is where a lot of teams are feeding off their scouting report. They are making the lobs very difficult by the passing angles and the people that they're guarding Kalkbrenner with.
Yeah, you just watch him and how hard he had to work just to get the ball.
Right.
They were doing a great job on him.
So, that obviously takes away a lot of what they wanted to do. And that was one of the, I thought the other thing, though, because they were doing it in the first half, too. But unfortunately, a lot of the early offense was getting stalled out because of turnovers. And they didn't have the same level of patience. Creighton in the first half was really good, realizing, okay, we're not just going to be able to force feed the big man, but if we work and we work the ball side to side and we get people to scramble and overcommit while they're trying to both double and then recover on Kalkbrenner, that we can find some backdoor cuts. We can find, open looks. We can get Baylor Shireman into the paint where then he can dish it off to others. And then Kalkbrenner, who's already down there, can seal the defender. And that happened a couple of times last night, including on the 3-point play late in the game where he's already down there. He can seal his man, which essentially works as, an offensive tackle, sealing the edge and giving his running back clear rein down the sideline. In this case, you seal the post, gives your guard a clear seal to the rim and an easy layup. And I thought, where Creighton was really good in the first half was they were being patient. They weren't trying to force anything. And, for whatever reason,
Maybe it's because of what you talked about in the previous segment, the defense struggling on one end of the floor and the offense in the other.
Right, but this was something that I think was carrying from beginning, from the beginning of the half. It threw everything off because I think it was 7 turnovers in the first 7 or 8 minutes. And they had 6 alone in the first half, just 6.
Yeah.
And if they could have duplicated that, if they would have had only 6 more turnovers in the second half, we wouldn't be talking about a loss today. And it wouldn't have come down to a missed call or a missed free throw, a missed front end. And that was another thing. Creighton missed 3 front ends last night of 1-and-1s. And that was another one of the keys that we discussed in yesterday's show was Jays have been really good at closing out games. And while, yes, they did come back from 10 points down late to tie it on, was it 3 different occasions? Or 2? They did not execute as well from the free throw line. They've been an 83% free throw shooting team the last 5 games. Well, last night, they ended up, as I bring up the monitor, 9 of 12, which is okay, but they made most of those very late versus earlier in the game. Remember, you miss the front end, you don't get the second, so that's 6 potential points you've left on the board. So really, last night, they could have been 15 for 18, theoretically, which is kind of where they have been the last few games. But they missed the front end, so they don't even get a chance at the second. And that was another area where the Jays fell short. But to credit Marquette, the Jays switched to zone to help them come back. And yet, even though against that zone, which is supposed to help you and keep guards from, penetrating, getting in, and getting layups, Tyler Kolek with 2 huge buckets.
Oh, my gosh, yeah, and doing that the way he did, trying to remember if it was the first or the second one, that little, kind of floater.
Yeah.
Just, incredible baskets, and, to do so in that moment as the game is tight, like it was.
He had the better of his matchup last night, for sure. Now, he was 0 for 3 in the first 18 minutes. This was from Matt DeMarinis of White and Blue, who he had on yesterday. He was 0 for 3 to start the game, but from that point on, he either scored or assisted on 12 of Marquette's last 17 field goals, including the layup and the floater that you mentioned on back-to-back possessions in the last 60 seconds when the Jays had tied the game. And you felt like if you could get a stop, and that's the thing, they never got a stop when the game was tied. You felt if they got a stop with the game tied, that someone could have made a play and could have pushed it over the edge. But Tyler Kolek is likely going to be the Big East Player of the Year. What he has done this season, from a guy who's always been good at facilitating and assists, he's been tops in assists the last couple of years in the Big East. His scoring ability, his toughness, his general overall toughness was on full display last night, even after a sluggish start. And there was no question who the MVP was last night. It was Tyler Kolek.
Jamie says, does the Marquette D get any credit?
Yeah, I believe we mentioned that.
Yeah.
They track a thing called deflections. If you watch them in their huddle.
They did a great job at doing that. They were a pain in the ass on the defensive end.
Yeah, and deflections is anytime you can deflect a ball. It doesn't have to result necessarily in a steal or a block. Just anytime the ball gets, you touch the ball and disrupt the ball in any way. That's a deflection. And they keep track of that. And if you watch them in their huddle, there's someone with a whiteboard who's holding it up in the huddle. Not necessarily because the guys need to know, hey, we've got 25 deflections, but it's a reinforcement tool. Because it's about who they are about. It's about this is who we are. We are a team that's going to disrupt you in certain ways. And this is how we do it. We disrupt the passing lane. We fill the gaps. We use our size, our length to deflect balls.
I'm going to read this email, and as I was just proofreading it seems like it was sent via voice to text. So there's going to be some funny things in here. Yeah. Douglas writes, is it time to criticize Coach Mack? Start of the season, consensus top 10, amazing roster of talent. Sunset, best ever in the Big East. Now they have 10 losses, double digit. Sure, them attorney. Again, I don't know. But he did underperform this year as a coach, ? Is he the Kirk Ferentz of basketball? I eat good, but not good enough to win the big one. That was the one that made me laugh the hardest. He meant I.e. not good enough to win the big one, not I eat good. Sure, they'll make the tournament. And then he adds, why the heck was he calling the fouls on Marquette's 50% shooter at the free throw line in the second half with 7 to 8 minutes to go? The guy drained 2 in his face. The coach inserting himself in the game. He should have let the players play. Look, I don't like that brand of basketball in terms of as a viewer watching it, but as a strategy, I have always understood why coaches do it, why teams do it. Well, it just sucks for you when the 50% shooter is knocking them down. But there was the one where he missed them.
But he had just missed one earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't they do one where he missed the front end, and so they got the ball right back. I think that happened. I guess that part doesn't bother me. Like,
I mean, it was unusual.
Yeah, because it was so early.
It was unusual because you've never seen that before from Greg McDermott. I don't remember any time where they've done the hack-a-shack, but it was
Andy, me no eat good to break down 3-point strategy.
Yeah, here it was. It happened with 3 minutes to go.
Mm-hmm.
And Iguodaro went and made both free throws. I mean, yeah, is it a fun strategy? No,
I hate watching it. It's horrible.
But I understood. I guess thinking about it now in hindsight, I understand it in the moment because you're trying to feed momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And Marquette had been going through a spell where they hadn't scored. They were missing shots and they were missing free throws. And you were trying to continue to feed momentum. So it was a one-time attempt to feed momentum. And
Rusty says,
it didn't work.
I hate Creighton, but I thought the fouls made sense. Also, it was 3+ minutes left, not 7 to 8. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I
don't feel like that's a coach inserting himself into the game. It's a strategy.
Yeah, it was a strategy. I think this is the right one.
I just don't feel like that's what cost them the game, though. I don't feel like
No, not at all.
I mean, like the big picture
Not
question,
at all.
like I have always, like Douglas, again, he goes, but is it time to criticize Coach Mack? I don't feel like he has been immune to criticism, and I would guess Douglas is a Nebraska fan. I've always found the conversation surrounding him as a coach from Nebraska fans, like perplexing at best, their best intentions, and like laughable at worst, because it's like, why don't you talk about him on the hot seat like you talk? We got this a lot during the Tim Miles era. It's like, what do you want? The guy goes to the tournament all the time. He had not made the Sweet 16, but now he has made the Sweet 16. So sometimes I'm confused. Like, has this season gone the way that I thought it would? No. Were there unforeseen circumstances, though, like their best defender missing a large chunk of the losing streak, not to mention he was sick throughout the beginning of the year? Has that played a part into it? Yes. I'm still like, wait and see. Let's see what happens in March.
I mean, first of all, how can
they're in the mix? Well, they were in the mix for the conference, title. I don't know.
I think the ship had been righted, right? You win 8 in a row, including 3 against ranked teams.
Yeah.
And you put yourself in position to control your own destiny for the championship. Yeah, no. I mean, yes, you can always be critical. You could always want more, but I don't know. I did not find last night to be this massive fall. I saw a lot of people saying, how Shaka grossly outcoached Mac. No, I think Marquette.
I think they outplayed them.
I think Marquette outplayed them.
Yeah.
And you can say, here's a criticism I can hear. You can say that because of the way Marquette plays, and they have this culture they are establishing, that they play with a certain level of toughness that maybe Creighton doesn't play with. And thus, when situations transpire as they do last night, it can snowball against you. Certainly. I mean, but that's more a stylistic question, because I don't know how you can watch this team, especially over the course of the last 2 months, heck, the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at how they really changed on the fly last year and went away from their usual MO and went to really a defensive first mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And it got them into the NCAA tournament in a rebuilding year.
Yeah, they almost lost they almost won against the eventual national champ.
But if you want to have the argument, well, does Creighton need to continue to adjust stylistically so they can handle we can have that conversation. But I didn't see anything last night that was like, oh man, I mean, Mac just was totally outclassed in X's and O's. No, when you turn the ball over 7 times in the first 8 minutes and it completely throws off everything that you've done, that's against a good team
who's going to win the conference,
who's very worthy.
Top 10
that's
team.
Another thing too, and I know this is all 2020 hindsight, but I wish I would have had a vote for, maybe I should start doing this, a preseason Big East. You know where Marquette was picked preseason?
I do not know.
Would you like to guess? Where Marquette, who, by the way, and let me just throw in the deets, okay? Cam Jones, talented sophomore, best 3-point shooter, back from a year ago. Tyler Kolek, back from last year. Oso Iguodaro, back from last year. Stevie Mitchell, kind of their all-around garbage man, pain in the butt pest, back from last year. Omax Prosper, their forward, starting 4, back from last year. All those guys were back from last year. So now, knowing that, where do you think Marquette was picked in the Big East?
Well, given your tone, I'm going to guess like 7th.
Try the other number that we always quote on this show.
9.
Yep.
Wow, interesting.
Isn't that?
Yeah. And now they're going to win the league.
9. And they're going to win the league.
Yeah, they're going to be the 1 seed.
And they're going to win the league.
Yeah.
And usually when you do like preseason stuff, what's one of the things that usually you look for? Well, how many returning starters do they have?
Just spent time talking about that with Bill Connolly yesterday
Yeah.
in relation to college football.
Yeah. They had as much returning as Creighton did in terms of experience starting
and they were in the top 10. They were picked to win the league. Jack.
That's neither here nor there, but I just wanted to point that out because now in hindsight, it just looks absolutely ridiculous. But when you think about it, it's like, wait a minute.
It didn't make sense.
They got
in the
all
moment.
these dudes back from last year.
Jack, not Mitchell, who is a Husker fan, though, says since I lived in Omaha, I've been absolutely perplexed by people calling for McDermott to be fired. He is a fantastic coach. It's insane. Look, I swear, I think the majority of that comes from outside the house. I do not think it comes from Creighton fans. It comes from weird Nebraska fans who, again, I don't know what the angle is other than you talk about our coaches being fired. It's like, yeah, I mean, Frost sucked. Tim Miles, look, maybe we shouldn't have ran that guy to town, but
on this phone tweets the greatest trollers in college sports.
Oh, come on. They're very nice people.
But it's true.
Oh, they
take pride in it.
They had great times last night.
They take pride
in
in
all
it.
their memes. The Nebraska basketball fans, they have all their memes. You seen this? Have you heard about
Oh,
this?
I have.
Yeah,
Again, on this phone tweets the greatest trolls in college sports.
You should make a sign.
They should.
They should make a sign.
You literally, seriously, you should make phone cases.
On these.
And thus, on the back of your phone case, it would, you'd have the decorative phone case. On this phone, tweets the greatest troller in college sports.
Jamie says my
you'd make money.
Jamie says my best pal texts me every loss calling for Mac. Wow, that's stupid. That would be the epitome of
that is stupid. That is just bonehead. Part of me would want to meet this person, but the other part of me would be like, I can't be around something this dumb.
Well, there's been a lot of revisionist history about whether or not Bo Pelini should have gotten fired, and I'm not here to relitigate that. Obviously, don't really want to talk about it anymore. But you want to talk about just see what you got until he's gone type thing. All right, fine, try it that way. How you ever wish you could just see what an alternate reality would look like if X had happened or Y had happened.
Yes,
So Nick loves the multiverse theory. That'd be a fun alternate universe. Hey, let's fire him and see what happens.
What if Creighton's colors were green?
The answer, I don't think, would be what these idiotic Creighton fans Nebraska fans, maybe they'd love it because Creighton would probably fall off a little bit. So dumb takes.
So you want to fire a guy who has the 12th most wins all time in the Big East, a guy whose teams have been ranked in 93 weeks of the AP poll. Out of the 121 total weeks that Creighton has ever been ranked in the AP poll, a guy who has the most wins versus the top 25 of any coach in Creighton history, and the guy who has the most top 10 wins of any coach in Creighton history. And again, it's a stupid, and will, as long as he hangs around for another year and a half, will be the winningest coach
unless they fire him.
Unless your
Marcus
friend
Blossom says you're fired. It's not my friend. Don't tell me.
Well, you're
it's Jamie's friend. Jamie's huge CU fan friend.
Jamie's
his friend wearing a sweater vest. Bad takes. They're everywhere.
Bad takes are everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm still laughing. By the way, at the autocorrect on that email.
That is a good autocorrect.
I eat good, but not good enough to win the big one.
That was really good.
That is so funny.
That's
I eat good, but not good enough to win the big one. Sounds like Dak Prescott.
Well, he sleeps good. We know that.
He does. Nick, he does.
Oh.
John says, through these gates, past the greatest trolls on your phone. The new sign for the PBA entrance.
Well, it's just everywhere. Like we said, imagine if there was
the
another.
Baseball fans aren't trolling right now. They got nothing to say. They've gotten up to a tough start. Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
Again, you should take it as a point of pride. Make some money off it. I just gave you a great idea.
Phone case. Just make iPhone
case.
You're
literally keeping track of how many times you pollute the other team's Twitter account to tweet memes.
They do.
That literally is the definition of trolling.
That's true.
And you're celebrating it. Thus, you should celebrate on this phone, tweet the greatest trollers in college sports.
Yeah, that's a normal phone case thing, Nick. Yeah. Phones are huge these days.
Sadly, they are.
Not a normal troll thing was paying the troll toll.
Got to pay the troll toll.
Got to pay the troll toll. Still to come, Mike Shaffer is going to join us.
Nice.
And we'll have more on Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show.
No disrespect to Frankie Muniz. Do you think that I could become a good race car driver pretty quickly? I know he's been doing this for all of his life, but I like to consider myself a pretty good driver. I'm an excellent driver. What's so good about Frankie Muniz? Like, how did Frankie Muniz decide he was going to be a NASCAR driver? Is he just a good driver? And those things have manual transmissions, right?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be tough. I think that'd probably disqualify me.
The Connor Happer Show, weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A winter weather advisory, some light icing into the evening, temperatures in the upper 20s, then a dusting to an inch of snow later tonight. Windy and colder, a low down around 10, then very cold and windy for Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV News Watch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Hey, it's Nick Hanley for Woodhouse Mazda. The 2023 Mazda CX-50 is the latest addition to the Mazda CUV lineup, and it's a beauty. The ultimate crossover to get the most out of the outdoors with new designs that will make every adventure comfortable and ready for any road condition. Test drive a Mazda CX-50 today at Woodhouse Mazda in Bellevue or in Millard, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Mazda dealers. You can shop, finance, and buy online at WoodhouseMazda.com or WoodhousePlaceMazda.com and enjoy a friendly and knowledgeable sales staff. Woodhouse Mazda, a drive worth experiencing.
Are you the kind of person who feels sorry for anyone who works in an office? If you prefer to be outdoors in the sun or the rain or the hot or the cold, then Quality Irrigation would like just 30 seconds of your time. If you have experience with irrigation systems and would love to work with a team that'll make your career more rewarding, Quality Irrigation is the kind of company that'll reward your hard work, smart ideas, and initiative. Visit quality-irrigation.com and click the Careers tab to apply today. Equal Opportunity Employer.
1 in 3 people in the Omaha Council Bluffs Metro is facing a mental health challenge. Mental health first aid training helps you learn the signs and gives you the tools to start the conversation. Call 211 or visit unitedwaymidlands.org to sign up for free training today.
Your 13th ranked Omaha Maverick hockey team is third in the NCHC and has secured home ice for the playoffs for the first time since the opening of Baxter Arena. Because of you, Maverick fans, they're fourth in the nation in attendance. Get your tickets now for the final home series and senior weekend against number 5 St. Cloud on February 24th and 25th, and for the playoffs on March 10th and 11th. Let's rock the Baxter. Get your tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS or at omavs.com/tickets.
Nick Hanley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout. It's that time of year again. Full tilt basketball season. Conference championships are on the line and lots of madness will be heating up. And DJ's is a great place to watch all the college and pro basketball action. And cheer for Creighton with the Blue Jay Lemonade, of course. Plus, there's always great daily food and drink specials at DJ's too. 7 metro area locations. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
It's unsportsmanlike conduct.
I have dropped acid. I am delusional.
On 1620 The Zone.
This week's Zone Deal is Tallulah Bee's Breakfast and Brunch and Bar. Tallulah Bee's Breakfast, Brunch, and Bar in downtown Omaha has everything from French toast to omelets to shrimp tacos to burgers, a full bar, unique cocktails, and right now, not right now, but Friday, you'll get, if you get in time, because these will probably go fast, the food ones usually do, 2 $25 vouchers, a $50 voucher for just $25. They go on sale this Friday at 1620thezone.com. That was a big downer. Also, I will guarantee that in the 4 p.m. hour, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time.
God, I can't
The best time zone.
God's time.
Idiot.
In the 4 p.m. hour Central Standard Time, you will hear this.
And what will that mean, John?
And when you hear that, be number 24,
in honor
representative of the 24 terrible calls of Jeffrey Anderson last night.
Colby.
Just kidding.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. It was 27.
Ah!
Anyway, I don't know. I picked 24 because I was looking down here and the clock says 3:24. Be caller 24.
Okay.
And you will win
Colby
passes to see Cocaine Bear with us tomorrow. ACX Cinema 12 Plus in Elkhorn.
God, I can't
just
wait.
off the Clone Army of the Republic Highway.
Oh, man.
Do it.
Or Highway 31 or 204th Street, as most of the locals call it.
That's what I call it, 204th Street. Very normal.
It's also kind of part of Highway 6, isn't it?
No, 31. Well, yes.
Yeah.
But it's 31. The main highway is 31. That runs north and south. Anyway, we're going to be screening Cocaine Bear, and you can join us for a fun time. You can even hang out with us before the show.
I'm eating. I can't wait.
We're going to have...
Gonna get me some za.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna have some za with us, John?
I think I'm going to do my meal
I don't know what
after.
you're talking about, but I'm going
after
to
the show.
I'm going to enjoy some Detroit-style pizza. Well, I think I'm going to eat after the show, but before the movie.
That's what I said.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you meant after the
between
movie.
between the show and the movie.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing. I'm
'Cause
gonna
we'll
have
be done
dinner.
at 6.
Yeah,
The
I'm
movie
gonna
doesn't start till 7. We'll be already there in the bar, so we'll order some pizza.
Yeah.
Za.
Which is what humans say.
Or za.
Yeah,
and enjoy it. So, yes, be listening for the sound of Al Pacino, the Cocaine Bear, snorting a line.
24.
And be caller number 24. It will happen in the 4 p.m. hour.
Trent texts in to 402-951-1620. Man, you would think listening today that Creighton got beat by Georgetown last night. Yes, they didn't play well to start the second half. And yes, you could say the officials were suspect, but this loss doesn't change the trajectory of the season. Take care of business the rest of the way, make a run in the Big East tournament, and then go see what happens. I think the frustration comes from, look, how the game unfolded definitely lends a lot to it.
Sure.
But the underlying, like they had a chance. They really had a chance where they could have controlled their own destiny. They could have been the 1 seed in the conference. They could have won the regular season league title for the second time in 4 seasons. You know, like that's where the frustration comes from. And it's like, look, if we got an email saying, is it time to criticize Coach Mack? I sense that from a Nebraska fan saying Creighton has underachieved. And then, if Creighton why shouldn't Creighton fans be upset by yesterday, given that they, again, that it would have put them in first place? And they would have
Of course, people are going to be upset. It's just the idea that this one game or what has transpired over the course of this season, have people already forgotten about the 8-game winning streak?
Yes.
And the fact that their last 3 losses, Xavier in Cincinnati, Providence at Providence, and last night, their last 3 losses were all 1-possession games, either at the final or deep into the game. And Creighton having chances to win inside of the last minute. Have people forgotten?
People do forget.
And this isn't the Scott Frost, we're really close defense. It would be one thing if they've lost 8 games in a row that way, but it's another thing that sandwiched all in and around the 8-game winning streak, which included ranked wins, that the 3 losses all came basically within a possession and all had opportunities at the end. And someone would say, well, but then they haven't closed out. Well, then you haven't been paying attention, because we literally pointed out all the different ways during the course of the last 2 months that they've closed out games very nicely. Last week at St. John's, Seton Hall, the Providence home win, the UConn home win, the Villanova home win. They closed all of those games out. And yeah, you're occasionally going to lose. And the texter is right. You did not lose to a bad team last night. Marquette is good. They have earned their place as the number 1 team in the Big East. And unlike some recent vintage Marquette teams, which have a tendency to fade at the end of the season, this one seems to be doing just fine. Thank you very much. And will be a threat in the NCAA tournament.
Josh writes into the Equitable Bank inbox in an email titled Husker Trolls. I have 2 kids and my youngest drives my oldest crazy. I always tell her, just ignore her. I've been a Nebraska season ticket holder for 18 years and we are irrelevant Trolling Creighton fans and getting in their heads gives Nebraska fans relevancy. Why can't Creighton fans just ignore the Nebraska trolls? Hashtag living rent free.
Wait,
Don't tell Jack.
So
The
hold
rent-free
on.
boys.
Read the part about relevancy again.
He says Nebraska is irrelevant.
Okay, but the other part, but later.
Trolling Creighton fans and getting in their heads gives Nebraska fans relevancy.
How does trolling give anyone relevancy?
We're talking about them? I don't know.
Well, yeah, we're talking about them, but we're talking about them because they're a local fan base and it's local fan behavior, and we tend to talk about local fan behavior on this show. Is that relevancy? I mean, they're relevant because they're Husker fans, and the Huskers are one of the big brands in the area. That's what makes them relevant, not because they're trolls or some of them are trolls.
Recognizing
that doesn't make anyone relevant.
Yeah, we're talking about them, but I don't think that makes them relevant. It just makes them a thing we talk about.
Right.
I didn't realize this Nebraska troll army was a thing until this season. Has this been a thing for a while?
I didn't know that Master Diaz had authorization to create a troll army.
Nice. I mean, I knew like they always troll you if something happens, but like the whole meme thing.
Oh, it is a thing.
I didn't realize it until now.
I believe
Mitchell's a part of it.
I believe.
Yeah, I know. That's when I learned about it.
Our colleague Caleb Henry at KLIN wrote an article about it, keeping
saw
track
this.
of all of the trolls that populate the opposing team or other teams' Twitter accounts when their team loses.
The fellas meme is kind of funny. I do kind of like the
I
fellas
thought that Nebraska fans were the, what did they call them? The classiest fans.
The aristocrats?
I don't get this joke. What is this joke?
The aristocrats.
No, I don't get it. What does it mean? I'm not 100, Nick.
No. The aristocrats are the group of fans that refuse to acknowledge that officiating and bad calls affect outcomes of games. Those are the aristocrats. So you're confusing the two.
Yeah, Nick.
My bad.
I don't know what you mean.
You're confusing.
Speaking of Nick, Chuck says Nick should drop a quarter every time he says "za."
Ooh, why didn't I think of that?
We made a huge mistake. Nick has gotten much better at not being so defensive about everything lately.
You made it into a game. And
Good
I
job,
like
Nick.
games.
It's improving you as a human being.
It is.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
See, that's why I agreed to it, which I still think we should redo the terms on yours. I don't think yours is fair.
It's not fun. I don't like it. I have many things to say, and I'm not saying any of them.
Both John Bishop and I.
But
John doesn't say Scott Satterfield anymore.
I know.
It's
Hopefully
making,
at the end
it's
of the
making
season.
Josh a better person.
I miss talking about it. Hopefully at the end of the year, though, when we talk more Husker football, you keep saying that was a bad play call by Scott Satterfield, and you're like, "Oh, rats!"
Oh, I'm
The Big 10, Big 12. You'll do that all the time. Big 10, Big 12. Big 10, Big 12.
I'm coming up with coping mechanisms to fix that.
I do appreciate you single-handedly paying for our burgers at the end of the year, though.
I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
It was a great idea.
Andy says Bill Moose can't wait to see Cocaine Bear with his 1620 friends. Man, I wish Bill Moose was coming. Then Amazing Daniel says, great.
Wait, it was a cup of coffee, a glass of beer, and a piece of pie. I don't remember a cup of coffee, a glass of beer, a piece of pie, and a line of smack.
Yeah, I don't. I forget people called cocaine smack back in the day. We should bring that back.
What did people call cocaine smack?
Wait, what? No, isn't heroin?
Yeah, that's
smack.
heroin. That's a heroin.
What?
thing,
I'm
guys.
sorry.
Wow, Nick.
Sorry
you know a
if
lot
I'm
about
not
heroin.
familiar with your drug culture,
Yeah,
hippie.
Nick. I
saw-
don't think hippies did heroin, John. I think
saw
other
Pulp
people.
Oh, the
Fiction at a
hippies
young
did
age.
everything.
I think hippies did other stuff. Amazing Daniel says, great musician Chris Saab plays out at Backlot on Thursday nights. Tip him. He's nice. There you go. Saab.
Saab, dude.
Go up and be like, hey, did you know that your last name is the name of a car?
I miss Saab. R.I.P.
Saab?
Yeah.
Why do you miss Saab?
Because they don't make cars. They don't exist anymore. Saab's done.
They don't make Oldsmobiles anymore. You don't miss those?
I kind of do.
They don't
Like-
make Pontiacs anymore. You don't miss those? They don't make Mercuries anymore. You miss those?
My dad had a great Cougar.
And on that note, we'll take a break.
Congrats
on the sex. 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
When cancer hits home, when you need answers and hope, turn to Nebraska Medicine, where cancer care is world leading and personal. In one visit, you'll meet with the team specializing in your cancer, discover treatments based on your DNA, and the support that makes a difference, like a nurse case manager and multiple locations, so you can always be close to home. For cancer, this is where you begin. Visit nebraskamed.com/cancer.
Home is with you wherever that may be.
No matter how dark it gets, there's always a sunrise, a warm bed, a warm meal, and hope. Sienna Francis House serves hope to those experiencing homelessness and addiction. Every day, we provide more than 1,000 meals and serve nearly 500 guests in our emergency shelter, Miracles Recovery Program, and supportive housing apartments, and help our guests navigate a path to permanent housing. Learn more at siennafrancis.org.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is $50 in vouchers for only $25 to Lula Bee's Breakfast Brunch and Bar. Lula Bee's has everything from French toast and omelets to shrimp tacos and burgers. There's even a full bar with uniquely inspired cocktails. Lula Bee's has a festively decorated party room for celebrations or just brunch with all of your friends. Lula Bee's, 9th and Dodge, or at lulabeesomaha.com.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
Tell us how you feel on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Reach Gary, Nick, Connor, Josh, and John anytime on the J-Tech Construction and Solar Zone Twitter feed. Contact the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. J-Tech Construction at yourexteriorexperts.com.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
John writes in, no, Nick shouldn't drop a quarter every time he says za. He should be hit in the face with eggs every time he says it.
Can I get hit in the face with za?
Get the eggs.
Please, no.
Pulled a Nick there. You've got your mic on.
What are you, me?
Also, Josh and others want us to talk about the Creighton fans throwing fans onto the floor. I'll be honest. So I said this to you earlier. I missed it because once the game ended, I turned it off. Just wanted to.
Well,
watch
and it's
tired.
not like they were on the air
for
very well.
Yeah.
Sure they weren't showing any of that. Greg McDermott did address that yesterday. Nick, you have the Mac audio there. He did it in the press conference, but then also when he came out and was talking about my first question, he added this.
I said it in the media room, and I need to say it to the fans that are listening on the radio. The actions of some of our fans after that game are unacceptable. Like we win with class, we lose with class. We're not going to throw objects at our opponents. We respect our opponents. We respect the game of basketball. And I appreciate so much the 18,000 people that continue to show up and support us. But that's not who we are. That's not who we've ever been, and that's not who we're going to be. So I understand some people probably let their emotions get the best of them, but that's not what Creighton's all about. That's not how we built this program. So while I appreciate everybody's support, I hope the people that were involved will pause a little and think, maybe that probably wasn't the best decision.
And I after the game, I noticed that, there were some things flying through the air, T-shirts, towels.
Curse words.
Which, by the way,
the F word.
How the heck do you throw a towel? I mean, those things don't carry.
You got to bottle it up, or maybe you got to pour liquid on it.
Yeah, you got to soak it in something, or you got to tie a knot in it. But anyway, there was
Jordan,
stuff.
Was the beer from the third row?
I was
Good
actually
question.
watching because I figured if there was going to be any.
You were watching the refs.
Oh, I was. Well, you always watch when the rats scurry off the ship.
Oh, John.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant the refs.
The refs scurry.
Well,
off
no,
the
I was
ship.
curious. I was genuinely curious to see how. So I was watching that. I was not
Hey, why did they
watching.
throw beer at the Marquette bench? What did they do? Was it because their coach is a goofball wearing a compression sleeve underneath his polo?
Oh, you want to know what else old
Looks like-
Shaka does?
It looks like a child.
He wears earbuds when he's out on the court,
like
during warm-ups.
You need the
like
hype
the
music.
players. You know the
Like
players
LeBron?
when players will
Remember
warm
that
up.
commercial, the
Yeah,
Colin
yeah.
Kaepernick one? You can tell everybody.
No, they-
Remember that commercial? It
Yes.
aired like 800 times. Does he
Yes.
wear cans or does he wear buds?
No, buds.
Buds? Interesting.
Yeah, he
You
was
can
out
tell
before. He was out before the
everybody.
game. 20, 30 minutes before the game, and he was rocking the earbuds.
I wonder what's on his playlist.
I have no
Nick,
idea.
actually,
I
that's a
just
good
thought
question.
it was. He's an odd duck.
Yeah.
He's an odd duck.
Compression sleeve? Come on, dude. What are you doing?
Well,
Long sleeve under a polo
Well, he's
inside?
still living. He's still living in his playing days.
Yeah, he looks like a dork.
But I didn't see what was going on in that end on that side of the floor. I was watching to see what if anything was happening as the officials were leaving the floor, because that's
Sam
where
says-
I thought if there was going to be anything
thrown
nasty done, it would have been done there.
Any third rowing? Sam says more like Shaka dumb.
Got him.
Indeed.
Got him, Sam.
Yeah, so I missed it. You missed it.
He's going to be the coach
What-
of the year, so I don't know how dumb he is.
What
He's
was
pretty
thrown?
smart.
What was thrown? Like, do you know what it was?
No,
Does
I don't.
anybody have any pictures?
I don't.
Send us. Send me a
Robbie
picture.
sits behind the Marquette bench.
I'll ask Robbie.
And I asked him. He said he didn't
Lula?
see anything.
Oh, geez. Okay, so all right. Well, never mind then.
So I don't know. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I can't answer that question definitively. But yes, I mean, and that's another reason why, again,
Stupid.
just talking about anything regarding officiating and rules and all that other stuff, because it just sends people into a tizzy.
Yeah.
Myself included. I wasn't happy with me last night. I wasn't happy with anything.
Yeah. Many people were texting me about you, and I was like, yeah.
What were they texting?
They were like, John's losing his mind right now. I was like, well, I figured,
Well, I was.
Yeah. Steve writes in, credit to the fans, Dak Prescott. Do you remember that after the playoff loss to the 49ers last January when someone asked him, like, yeah, the fans were throwing stuff at the ref, and he goes, credit to the fans.
Yes.
Dak, you're a leader. You're a leader of men, Dak.
Is he?
Well, he throws a lot of interceptions.
He just wants to make sure everybody gets a chance with the ball, Josh.
Yeah. It's okay. You've had a night to sleep on it. You'll be all right.
What do you mean?
We'll all be all right.
Well, yeah, I'm fine.
We
Okay,
gonna
good.
be
I'm
all
fine,
right.
but in the moment,
We can.
it was very frustrating.
Yeah.
Especially when it happened right in front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it happened to be the same official every occasion.
Patrick says Shaka is an absolute clown and has immediately went to number one in least favorite Big East coaches. I didn't realize he was triggering people this way.
Well,
more than Hurley?
He's one of those guys.
'Cause
And
of
by the way, if
good
you
album.
missed it, I've got the
Nice by Weezer. I never listened to that album.
Oh, I didn't upload it. Or did I?
I don't know.
No, I didn't upload it yet. Well, after the game.
Oh, is this the shot of him looking at the fans? And then the
Yes.
awkward handshake with Mac?
Yes.
I wanted more on that. I needed a replay of the handshake. Did you see
Well,
this,
I
Nick?
mean, that was
It was just really weird because, like, McDermott had kind of that look of like, what is this guy doing? Like shake my hand and then celebrate,
Well, yeah. I wasn't watching this live. I was watching the other end of the floor.
Was it a
but-
handshake or was it one where it got cut off too early?
Oh, here's the video.
All right.
Here's the video.
All right,
Here, the
perfect.
shot from our friends Matt Foster over at KTV Channel 7.
Okay.
Here's how the game ended. Of course, you'll see the ball flying in after Baylor Shireman wasn't obviously fouled. And here's what it looked like. So for those of you who weren't,
By the
That
time
was a
he's
total
landing,
180.
He's landing on the ground.
so
Mac's
what he
like, all right,
does
right
is, and
there.
here I'll just. And then immediately
He's like,
starts
"Good
the handshake
game!
line.
Good game!
Yeah.
Just screaming at him.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Listen, he's one of those guys where if he is your guy, you love him. If he's not,
he's my
you
guy.
think he's a tool.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, I said the same thing about Danny Hurley.
Mm-hmm.
I like having those people. I love having those people in sports because it either makes them
your guy,
people you cheer for, or people you cheer against. And we need those. That's what we need. That's what we have in sports. Not everyone, is not
Mike
everyone
McCarthy
can be, super duper stoic. Now, at the same time, it can also be cool when a Jay Wright watches the shot go in from Chris Jenkins and just does the boom pump fist and then calmly walks to the other end and shakes hands. The Barry Sanders effect.
Nice. Act like you've been there before.
You've been there
Even though
before.
he hadn't been there before.
Walk away from the explosion.
He hadn't been there before, but he had been there.
Yeah. Amazing Danny says, luckily nobody was hurt since it was just empties of these they were throwing, and it's a black box wine. Is that what they were doing? They were chucking those.
I have no idea. I didn't see. The only thing I saw flying through the air was T-shirts, the wadded up T-shirts and towels. That's it.
Sam says, let's be honest. The weirdest thing is that he went from bald to a full head of hair. He was a bald guy.
Oh,
I thought he was a shaved head guy.
Yeah, I thought.
I
so
never
too.
assumed he was a bald guy.
We're bald shaming now.
Some people do that. I would never do that.
I thought bald shaming went out of style a long time ago.
Yeah, people can pull it. Like I thought after Heisenberg, people just kind of stopped bald shaming.
No, people still bald shame.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they're
weird.
I feel bad for those who are follically challenged.
Like The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock doesn't have hair.
Well, again, he's shaved though.
Well, yeah, he shaves his head.
But
Here's
bald.
Brian before we get to Mike Shaffer. Hi, Brian.
What's up, Brian?
Hey.
Hey, Fickle People, Brian. What up,
Brian,
dude?
man of the group.
Person on the show, Josh.
Hey.
How you doing, Josh?
Good, man. Go Cowboys.
Hey, man. Hey, don't let John bring you down. Keep doing the show. Stick with it. But hey, I want to say this as a former referee. I know people don't know this. I want to let your public know. There are refs out there. They read the book and they get a partner that works the game with them. And just like you in that game, how you want to put they want to put their hand on their partner's throat. Okay? Because that yesterday, I'm going to keep saying it. I don't know what's going on with college basketball officials. I worked with several of them, and I have not been impressed in my life at all with any of them. Okay? So that's what needs some work. I know Creighton, the turnovers are what cost them, but I've seen too much bad officiating this year. Refs not in position to calling calls when they're looking through people's body. I didn't know you had X-ray vision. Okay? I didn't know that. That's why I never abide by the rule. Call what looks like a foul. No, I need to see it with both of my eyeballs. The contact happened. And if I missed it, then I wasn't in the right place. And I better work my butt off the next time to get in the right place. That's it. But you guys have a nice day.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian. Would you want X-ray vision? Of all the superpowers, would you want X-ray vision?
So what am I seeing again? Am I seeing like through their body?
Yeah, can I control it, or is it just permanent
Didn't
X-ray
you watch
vision?
Superman?
That doesn't sound like that fun of a superpower. I don't know how I would
you
use
could
it.
make money off of it by.
I guess I could. I go play poker.
Well, yeah. and
Well,
you
it also depends though, because
you
you
could be your
can't
own
see-
medical person.
They're gonna say
You can't see the back of that person's card. It would just your X-ray vision would go through. You would see their bones.
Wow. Nah, I'm all right then. I don't need that. This seems like an extra headache to deal with.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
See a bunch of skeletons walking around everywhere.
If I could fly, that sounds fun. But
I mean, I understand the whole thing about Jor-El getting the powers because of the sun, and the whole flying and having the superpowers because of the gravity and stuff. But why does it affect the vision?
Good
X-ray
question.
vision? I don't get.
I know Severe knows the answer.
Superman's lame.
Yeah.
No, he is not lame. Why is Superman lame?
Because
He's
he has all the
Superman.
powers. He's boring.
John. He's a Mary Sue.
You know who's not lame and or boring?
The Flash.
Well, no, Mike Shaffer is what I was going to say.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the Time Saving Traffic Center, heads up, you're going to want to avoid Leavenworth at 24th East and westbound. We got police activity in the area, so you'll want to stay away from 24th and Leavenworth. Slow going on westbound Dodge between Rose Blumpkin and 90th. Also delays on L Street from both directions around the JFK. And with the rain starting to pick up, be ready for potential slick spots and delays as you make your way across the metro. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's Omaha.
Love Languages, presented by Fernando's. 1.
Words of affirmation.
Your tacos are delicious.
Come and feel the love at Fernando's, 75th and Pacific, 114th and Dodge, and FernandosOmaha.com.
Join up, join in. It's time to make good on those New Year's fitness resolutions by becoming a member at Croc Center Omaha. There you'll find a full range of fitness activities, from free weights to Zumba classes to an indoor track, pickleball, and more. Join now and save. We'll waive the fees, plus you'll get 1 month free with an annual paid in full or auto pay membership. The Croc Center is just moments away from the Kennedy Freeway and Q Street. Go to omahacroc.org for more information. That's omahakroc.org.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Looking for a fun business, team building, or meeting idea? Look no further. Golf DJ's Dugout. Try the fun and new golf simulator at DJ's Dugout, 10th and Capitol downtown. Great for groups and individuals. Party packages are available, and you know DJ's has a huge selection of delicious appetizers, food, and drinks that your team will love. DJ's amazing media displays are great for business meetings, too. Golf DJ's Dugout downtown. For more information, visit djsdugout.com. That's djsdugout.com.
In a house in Omaha, people gather in the kitchen. They don't talk about school and work. They talk about doctors and surgeries. They're the families of Ronald McDonald House Charities in Omaha. And the kitchen is where they come together to share the struggles their children are facing. For these families, it's the little things like a home-cooked meal, even while far from home, that make the biggest difference. Volunteer to prepare a meal by visiting rmhcomaha.org.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no per ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Earthlings, we have now taken over your radio.
Mike Shaffer.
See, I would argue, because I like to argue,
we all underestimated how hard it is to, 1, win college football games, and 2, transition and take over a program.
Mike Shaffer.
I was trying to kindly tell Mr. Bishop the Vikings have a chance to surprise some people, and I think that they could even win the division.
Mike Shaffer.
It doesn't seem like the kind of book where they would be hooked on meth. That got dark.
Mike Shaffer.
Realize this.
Yeah, your camera's been.
I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yeah.
I wish you would have said something.
I just figured that you were mad about last night and you didn't want to adjust it.
No, I just, I
Shape all day long. John's camera's been like this.
Like this?
Yeah.
Like that? I didn't realize.
You remember Mr. Robot? That's how a lot of their shots were on Mr. Robot.
Yeah. I just haven't had the because we can watch ourselves in our own computers, but a lot of our prep stuff and the websites that we surf during the program are on the same.
John surfing the web.
I suppose surfing the web. That's probably the next thing we need in here, right? Is a self-monitor.
That'd be nice.
Or do we?
Yeah, probably not.
I don't want to look at myself, Shafe. You want to look at yourself?
Generally, no. That's part of why you grow a beard. You see less of your face that way.
Yes.
Typically, there's people that you meet in life that stop and look in mirrors because they're sort of vain. I'm not one of those people. If I see a mirror, I tend to like try to avoid it.
Yeah,
Sometimes, if I go long enough, especially when I was living on my own and then the pandemic was going on, you could really kind of go a while without actually seeing what you look like. It can be pretty, pretty bad. So I feel like a self-check every couple days is at least necessary. Just make sure you don't have any mustard on your face or anything like that.
Yeah.
Is it wild that the pandemic is 3 years now since it really kicked off?
Yeah, what do we got to get to like
March 11th.
Yeah.
My
the
brother's
day
birthday.
where Fred Hoiberg looked as bad as anyone has ever looked in high definition television ever.
Yes.
I mean,
Is
it
that
was
the day or is it the next day?
to me is that day.
March 11th is what I always view as it because that's like when the NBA shut down. Creighton got canceled the next day. It was March 12th.
Yeah.
But I always viewed March 11th as the day.
Well, so March 11th,
12th, because that's when they canceled the tournament and the College World Series. I mean, that's when literally everything shut down.
Yeah.
Honestly, March 11th, though, like you didn't have to be a very particularly smart individual to look at Fred Hoiberg, how people were reacting that were sitting next to him on the bench and realizing there was no way in hell anything was going to be played in the coming days.
Yeah.
Like you could just tell from that game alone that there was nothing that was going to follow with basketball. Like that was all I needed. I think I tweeted about it at the time. So for me, it will always I will always remember the pandemic basically starting, even though it clearly started months before then.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I will remember it starting as far as the sports world while Nebraska was doing its annual tradition of losing on a Wednesday in the Big Ten tournament.
And didn't 2 football players play in that game for Nebraska?
Yeah, you had
Banks?
Brant Banks
and Wilson Thomas.
No, Wilson
Matt
Thomas.
Davidson.
Noah Vedral, right?
Noah Vedral, that's who it was.
Yeah.
His last time ever suiting up as a Cornhusker, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
God, so
right. They both eventually entered the transfer portal. Is that right? Didn't Brant Banks? Did he leave? Do I have that? Yeah.
Yes, he left.
So
he went bye-bye.
We didn't know at the time, but years in the future they would enter the portal.
Yep.
So the battle for Carter Nelson, the tight end from near Ainsworth, who, by the way, he got an offer from Georgia.
Also, his Twitter handle is so bad. We need to fix his Twitter handle.
What's wrong with it?
It's Carter Numbers. He looks like a bot. It's like Carter 88410. It's just we need to fix his Twitter. Anyway, keep going. Sorry, I apologize.
I thought you didn't follow high school athletes.
I don't.
On
I
Twitter.
see he gets quote tweeted all the time, and I get so sad when I see his handle.
Well, the battle for Carter Nelson. How do you handicap it at this moment? Please try to keep from mentioning his Twitter handle.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that there's even really a race to handicap at this point. We're early enough where I think he's going to have to make some visits and make some decisions, and I don't really know what Carter Nelson thinks of all of the attention. I mean, he's a pretty quiet guy to start with, and then Nebraska under the previous staff, and then certainly with the Matt Rule staff, really made it apparent that they wanted to keep him in state. That there's that athleticism they can do something with, and so I don't know. It's almost one of those things where I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a stretch in April or May where he's taken a few visits just to see, because you have that opportunity. Maybe you don't want to at least look at it. But I also wouldn't be shocked if like the only real teams we hear about are regional ones. And then I believe Notre Dame, in conversations I've had in the past, is a team that he seems to hold in a little bit higher regard. So I don't know that I'm ready yet to say that this is going to be like an all-out battle. But I think some of that is I just don't have a great feel for Carter himself. Like I said, he's a pretty quiet guy, and I just don't know. I mean, we'll see kind of how it plays out and where he starts to line up visits, I think, in April and May. And he has to do that while also trying to do track, which doesn't leave you a lot of time available on the weekends to try to get out to places like Tuscaloosa or Oxford or Athens or places like that. So it might get pushed to the summer, but at that point, all these guys get sped up. And if you're Alabama and you make this offer, like realistically, how long is Alabama going to continue to recruit Carter Nelson? Like for us, it's sort of a fascinating story because it's a kid in Ainsworth and Alabama's offered. For Alabama, it's one of however many tight ends that they've offered in the 2024 class. Like, if there doesn't seem to be a spark right away in terms of that relationship, it's going to look cool on a profile. How deep it goes, we have to wait and see.
By the way, Miami just offered as well 10 minutes ago. Did you
see the Twitter handle, Josh? I'm sorry.
Yes, I did. It's Carter 8385468. I mean, come on, we can fix that.
What if he comes on the show someday? Carter Nelson comes on the show,
okay,
and you ask him, you're like, dude, what is going on with your Twitter handle? And then there's a reason that those numbers matter to him. Aren't you gonna feel silly?
I would. I'd feel really bad, and I would apologize to him, and then I would want to move on and crawl.
You know what? I think this was the B side of Jenny 8675309.
Oh, this is the other phone number.
8385463. 8385463.
Maybe it's just his cell phone number. Is that his cell phone number?
Oh, that
Shaffer?
would be hilarious.
Can you confirm or deny?
I cannot confirm or deny on that one.
I'm proud of you, though, Josh. You didn't make some smart crack about, well, he's in Ainsworth. They don't have cell phones.
Oh, well, let me make one. No,
that's
just
his
kidding.
landline.
There's not
Have you guys played the game of Josh has to find Ainsworth on the map?
He asked where I thought it was, and I said Western Nebraska. It's like Northwest somewhere, right?
Yeah, the problem with you and the Western Nebraska thing is that that's such a catch-all term that you don't even, you can't even regionalize it very well.
Nebraska City is Western Nebraska.
That almost works.
Yep. Let me ask you this, Shape.
Sure, if you're in Iowa.
Since you have been covering him, there is not a comp, right, in terms of in-state players? Because I almost want to ask this of John. Is there a comp of what we're watching right now with this kid getting offers?
In terms of his recruitment or in terms of his athleticism?
Recruitment. Yeah, recruitment. Because athleticism, I mean, obviously, Jared Godowski was better.
I don't think there's a comp in terms of the recruitment at this point in time. I think the closest might be like an Avante Dickerson, and that's still like a level down. Malachi Coleman actually might be the closest, just with some of the offers that he had sort of pulled in by the end there. But yeah, to have teams like Georgia and Alabama, but I think
in the small town component too.
I think it speaks more, in my mind. I think it speaks more to where we are with college football recruiting in 2023 than it necessarily does about like Carter Nelson's status as one of the greatest athletes in high school football.
What do you mean by that?
Well, what I mean is I just think that it's more commonplace for teams to go ahead and basically just make these offers, even if it doesn't necessarily lead anywhere. I mean, more teams are making more offers. Like the gap between like what Nebraska would do and would get made fun of by people over in Iowa for the 325 offers they'd have in a cycle. Like other teams are starting to make more of these kind of offers because the barometer has changed. I mean, it's no longer you start the conversation and you talk to the kid for a while, then you do the evaluation and then you make the offer. Sometimes you just make the offer and then the conversation starts and then everything else catches up to it. So I guess I think we've entered a different world of recruiting in these last probably 3 years or so, to the point where it's hard to compare, a Carter Nelson with a Noah Fant or that kind of thing. If that makes any sense at all. I don't know if it does. Austin Allen might be a better example, given that Noah Fant was in Omaha and Austin Allen's in Western Nebraska in Aurora, which Josh is on I-80. Just so you know, you understand how I-80 works across the state.
It drives west or east if you're coming east.
Yep.
It goes all the way to California.
Wow. Okay.
Goes to Chicago and then even further east. Doesn't go to New York.
There's people that say things about you, and they just must not listen to your street smarts.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this an important strategic battle to win from the standpoint of, he's truly a Western or Northwest Nebraska kid, but he's a Nebraska kid and he's getting all of these offers. And, Rule has essentially, tried to make this state his own and has really worked hard to try to ingratiate himself. Does this hold any more significance beyond just you're getting a good athlete? Does it hold a strategic and psychological advantage?
There's the optics, and that's definitely going to be true because if for some reason, let's say he chooses Notre Dame, I mean, there's just going to be a segment of Nebraska's fan base He's going to be really upset by that. And obviously, again, he's a top 247 player. He's a 4-star athlete. He's a number 1 player in the 2024 class. You want to keep those kids because you're trying to go get other versions of these kids from other states. So, I mean, if you can keep one home, that means it's one less battle you have to go win somewhere else. So, yeah, I mean, I think from an optics standpoint, it's always going to be pretty big when you're talking about the number 1 player in the state, and especially because they've already invested a fair amount of time. I mean, Ed Foley was out there. I believe Matt Rule was out there. They've been to Ainsworth more than probably any coaching staff in the last, 30 years. So it's a situation where when you invest that time, you want the payoff to be there too.
Shafe, one more from me on Carter Nelson. It's actually from a listener, Adam. He says, I'd be curious on Schaefer's thoughts on Nelson compared to Fedoni as a recruit.
Different world. It's a different world. I mean, so here's the thing about Carter Nelson. Carter Nelson's base athleticism is extremely interesting. I mean, he's 6'4", 6'5". He's a basketball player. He set a high jump record when he was a freshman. I mean, he's just, from an athletic standpoint, absolutely fantastic and intriguing. From a football standpoint, there's a lot to do still. I mean, he plays 8-man football in Ainsworth. I mean, that alone, the adjustment from 8-man to 11-man is going to be something for him. Yeah. I think the adjustment to how the game is played too, and where he plays and what he's asked to do. I mean, it's one thing, Thomas Fedoni played wide receiver in high school in Western Iowa in one of the larger classes in Iowa. I mean, he faced good competition, kind of throughout, and he played at wide receiver. So he had to come to Lincoln and get better as a blocker. Carter Nelson's going to have to get better as a receiver, as a blocker, as a route runner. I mean, he comes in with incredible athleticism, but I don't know that. I mean, I don't think the comparison is there. I mean, he's behind Ben Bramer, in terms of just being a tight end. Ben Bramer was committed to Nebraska, ended up with Iowa State after the moving on from Scott Frost, and he decommitted in December. But I just think that there's a lot of raw potential in Carter Nelson, but I think there's a lot of football that has to be sort of developed at that point, which is what makes him intriguing to Matt Rule and that staff, because they don't mind that. They like the really raw athletic skill set.
Shafe, I wanted to ask you about the visit weekend next month. We've talked about it a couple of times. It's a month from this weekend when Dylan Raiola and others are going to come into town. I know that you've been, I don't know, bullish is the right word, but you think Nebraska by this summer is going to have, somewhere in the neighborhood of double-digit commitments. Do you think that happens before or after that weekend? I guess I wonder if you think that might be a linchpin for, what this class could become. Of course, the obvious of if Dylan Raiola committed, yes.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have double digits before then. I could see him having, 3, maybe 4 going into that weekend. But I would look for them potentially to get to double digits by the end of the spring, or I guess technically the way the calendar works, the end of May, the evaluation period.
Yeah.
And then you go into June. And so then, let's say June 1, if you were setting a number and you put it at 8.5 commits, I think I would expect over at this point in time. So, that puts it right there where you're almost in double digits. The tough part for me, guys, I don't know how big this class is going to be. So it's easier, generally to get to double digit commits if you're also taking 22 guys. Because you're usually able to get some commits earlier. Whereas if it's a pretty picky class and it's going to be small, maybe you're being really, really kind of picky and conscientious about whose commitments you're taking. So I don't know how big the class is going to be. That changes it a little bit, but I expect double digits by, June 1 or in that range.
Do you think, because this is going to be the first real opportunity for this staff, and when I say staff, I'm including, the periphery groups, the recruiting office and everybody else, organizing, planning, all of those things to really work together on a major project. And, you're going to be hosting commits. So do they need to strike a fine balance in terms of, how many they're hosting, the quality? I mean, they're not going to turn away great quality recruits if they want to visit, but do they need to kind of manage it a little bit? Because this will be like a trial by fire to see how their whole process will work together.
It is and it isn't. I mean, they had big visit weekends in December. They had that Sunday where they brought in, a dozen Nebraska kids from across a couple different classes that had offers.
Sure.
Like they've had larger groups, and the fact that this is largely an invite only kind of situation, they're all invite only, but more of a premium invite only means that they're going to have it capped a little bit there too. I don't think that they're going to struggle to be able to put together the event. What I'm mostly interested in, they didn't do a junior day in January. So we haven't really heard about what that kind of looks like. I know when it was the sort of in-state player event, guys were able to play coaches in video games. They kind of just spread everybody out and, almost had like different stations and let people kind of figure out what it is that they wanted to do. I'm curious what that environment and atmosphere is sort of going to be like, because we're a long way away from when people used to show up for junior days and it was like you get the tour and then like one coach would come in and talk, and maybe if you were good enough you get to talk to a position coach, and then you'd eat at the training table, and then Dennis LeBlanc would talk about academics or whatever. And we're just a long way from when it was that. So I sort of expect a more festive, upbeat atmosphere out of it, just kind of based on how they did things at Baylor and sort of the early returns of what they were doing on some of those visit weekends in December and January.
Shaffer, are you interested in the Netflix documentary about Kirk Cousins and Patrick Mahomes and Marcus Mariota?
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's probably going to be similar to kind of what they do with Full Swing, where you get an opportunity to sort of, go home with these athletes in a way that you don't when you just watch them on television or canned media appearances or whatever. So yeah, I'll be interested. And then it's one of those things where, I mean, talk about kind of a 3 people that they picked where it works really well. You have the Vikings played in 1 million close games, and Kirk Cousins had quietly his best, year ever when talking about close games and fourth quarters and everything. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl. And then Marcus Mariota and the Falcons were really sort of interesting for large stretches of the year. So I will definitely watch it. I have certainly found that I enjoy the sports documentary setup where, yes, there's some highlights of the competition, but it allows you to sort of learn about the people that are actually involved. I mean, I'll be interested, but if it gets boring, the easy thing is there's a million other options to switch to.
Yep. You can watch The Leftovers. Or
still got done with season 1. Someday maybe I'll get to season 2.
Yep, season 2. It's a great season of TV.
It's what, now a decade old?
Yeah. You ever watch The Leftovers, John?
Never even heard of it.
It's a great show. It's on HBO.
Is it about people who open their fridge?
God, sometimes I wish I had eggs to throw at your face.
It's an incredibly
depressing. I actually appreciated that joke.
2% of the population goes up, and is it a rapture? Did aliens take them away? Nobody knows. That's the premise of the show, and everyone's dealing with it.
Super depressing.
That doesn't sound great.
Maybe they all have their own club, and they just chilled out underground.
It doesn't sound great.
Don't believe so.
Now, that said, Josh, for the most part, if there's one thing that he does well, besides effectively exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen.
Nice. I do that well.
Or oxygen
Good job,
for carbon
Coach.
dioxide.
Yeah.
Is he's got a good hit rate with me on recommending television shows.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I've never recommended Leftovers because I don't think that it'd be I don't think it's your type of bag.
Oh, and why is that?
Because it's very depressing. I don't think that you'd want to live in that
that's
world.
a good point.
Yeah, I don't think you'd want to live in that
That's
world.
true, because Nick tried to get me into some depressing
Bo
comic.
Burnham.
Yeah.
You wanted him to watch
good.
Inside, Shafe.
He's watch Inside.
Yeah. John's watching Succession right now.
I am. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the opposite of depressing.
That show's hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
Before you go, Shafe, Matt says, whoa, first time seeing Schaefer's face, didn't match that face with the voice.
I don't know what that means. I get that a fair amount. Well, no, I know what wah means.
So it's the first time he's heard you, but he's never seen you.
But I would like to know what Matt thought that I was going to look like.
That to me, and unfortunately now that everything's on video these days.
One
of the fun things is the magic is gone. When you would listen to your favorite DJ back in the day, when people still listen to.
When you're at a sock hop.
Yes, when you're at a sock hop. But you would imagine, you're like, and then you finally see the DJ on a TV commercial or something. You're like, he does not look like that
Mm-hmm.
at all.
Yep. Yeah,
and
now-
I've had people, back in my earlier days in radio said, you don't sound like your voice.
Yeah, I've had a couple.
Or you're
people say-
not the way I pictured you sounding or looking.
I've had people be like, "Wow, you're way more handsome than I imagined you, Nick."
Literally, no one has
thank you.
ever said that to you, Nick.
Yeah, I don't believe that, Nick.
Yeah.
No, I don't either.
Yeah,
I don't either. I'd be curious what Shafe.
What people think Shafe looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, to me, when I hear Shafe's voice, I think of
his face,
the handsome man with the
beard,
the finely groomed beard,
the finely grimmed
the
beard.
finely
Hello.
groomed beard.
Wow,
finely groomed beard.
Hello. Nice.
By the way, for those of you not watching on the video, we have the little supers on today. Josh's is want to talk refs. Mine is not an aristocrat, and Shafe's is led the state in high school batters hit. Oh, there it is, in 2006.
Dang.
How many batters did you hit?
I have no idea. I just sort of
Are they
assumed.
okay?
I usually average like 1 or 2 a game. It felt like.
Jeez.
I
He's not
definitely
talking about the pitch. He just literally would walk up to them and slug
That's
them.
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
face.
No. It's just that cut fastball that ran inside. Dangerous
not
on righties.
Mariano Rivera.
You throw a cutter?
Well, it just was a
Oh,
two-seamer that had a ton of run.
Nice.
It had a ton of run. Just had a lot of accidental run.
It's too much run.
Are you looking forward to the baseball?
I am. I saw that you have, or maybe you already had UNO's coach on.
He's joining us in 15 minutes.
Well, yeah, that's exciting. They got a pretty good program.
In front of the drum.
Yeah, we have a great influence on college baseball. We're hoping that whatever mojo we didn't give to the Huskers, that we give to Omaha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah, we caused the tie.
Yeah. Did you hear about this,
on
Shafe?
Monday.
When we watched the game,
I did
Nebraska
see.
was outscored 16-1. When we didn't watch the game, Nebraska outscored San Diego 15-0.
That's pretty impressive.
We did that.
I did that.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah,
we did that.
You got to be proud of yourselves.
No, we do what we can.
Mike Shaffer of Husker 24/7. Thank you, Shafe.
Bye, Shafe.
See you guys.
There he is, Mike Shaffer, everyone.
Real quick before we go to break, got a text message from the 402 that says, Carter is from my hometown. He's the most exciting thing to happen in a long time. I will see if we can get his ridiculous Twitter handle changed. Wow. Thank you for your service, Texter. Thank you.
Why does it have to be ridiculous?
He looks like a bot. We don't want Nebraska's future tight end looking like a bot on Twitter.
Why does it have to be a bot?
Because that's what bots do. It's something.
You know what else
numbers.
bots do? They troll.
Jim numbers.
So they could fit right in nicely with the fan base.
GBR. I want to troll with the rest of you. Welcome, Carter.
Yes.
Go Big Red. There you go.
On this phone, tweets the greatest trolls in college sports.
Nice.
Why shouldn't the players be able to do the same?
That's true, I guess. Never mind, Carter. Keep your Twitter handle the way it is. He should change his profile picture to just, the one that you get when you sign up for Twitter.
Yeah, just
The egg.
The egg.
Bring back the egg. Remember the egg?
Does the egg not exist anymore?
No, it's like it's a disembodied.
A disembodied
It's
figure.
no, it's this.
No,
Here's
it's
this
just
new Twitter handle, Nebrasketball13. Very cool. It follows Big Red Overreaction.
Oh,
Most recent follower. See, that's what it looks like, Nick. It's not an egg. It's a
that's
head
boring.
floating.
Do they know that Big Red Overreaction isn't a basketball show?
Good question.
No, but most of the people who have
what are you
Nebraska
gonna
ball in their
say?
title. They don't even recognize that they have a basketball team. They only
Wow.
root for them because
Hey,
they
they
have the same
beat
name as the football
Creighton.
team.
They
People
beat
forget.
Creighton. Remember?
I'm guessing that account who has
Has
a
not tweeted.
disembodied head
No tweeting.
and has not tweeted yet.
One follower, though.
Probably a bot.
Probably a bot. Lydia follows it. Let's see.
Congratulations, Lydia.
Lydia has a link, Naughty Cams.
Oh, well.
I think Lydia's a bot.
Yeah, I think Lydia might be a bot, too. All right.
a bot with a bod.
Oh, I'm going to close that out.
Oh, did you click the link, Josh?
No, I didn't click the link.
I
clicked
clicked the link.
There was a retweet
He
on
clicked the link.
There was a retweet on the TL that was probably not suitable for work. Probably not suitable.
Yeah, you clicked on the link.
I didn't click on the naughty.
Did you
cam
like
link.
the tweet?
No, I would not like the tweet. Other people
Did
would
you
see
think a
me
body could
liking it.
contort in that way?
I've been on the internet for a while, John.
Okay. Yeah. Well, speaking of being on the internet, you can be on the internet to do a lot of things these days. Like shopping, including car shopping. You can experience the Woodhouse difference and shop with confidence at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley. The Chevy Silverado 1500, the strength to take on what's next. with a multi-flex tailgate, 6 different functions, plus Super Crew drive assist technology, if I can say it right, and advanced trailering system. That makes the haul that much easier. Plus, you get 9 unique trims to choose from. You can customize that Chevy Silverado to suit your needs. And right now at Woodhouse Chevy in Missouri Valley, get 2.99% APR financing on a 2022 Chevy Silverado with approved credit. But you need to act now because this offer expires February 28th. See Woodhouse Chevy's entire line of Silverados and schedule that test drive online at woodhousegm.com. You can also value your trade, fill out the credit app, chat with their knowledgeable, friendly staff. You can almost do the entire car buying experience right there online at woodhousegm.com. Or just visit them. Find new roads to Woodhouse Chevy just off I-29, exit 75 in Missouri Valley, or woodhousegm.com. Chevy, find new roads.
Previously on The Crossover.
They were eating poop left and right. They did. You guys not remember this?
They're eating poop.
Eagles fan eats horse poop. February 6th, 2018.
That was one person.
It's a new thing, probably.
Cowboy fan derangement syndrome.
No.
Come back in full force.
No.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A winter weather advisory, some light icing into the evening, temperatures in the upper 20s, then a dusting to an inch of snow later tonight. Windy and colder, a low down around 10, then very cold and windy for Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the time-saving traffic center, we got a stall that's blocking the right lane on 680 at the eastbound I-80 split. If you're west on Dodge, delays between 680 and 120th. If you're east on Dodge, delays between 144th and 108th. If you're south on 680, delays between Dodge and Pacific. If you're east on I-80, delays between Q Street and 60th. And if you're west on I-80, delays between 42nd and 108th. Police activity still going on Leavenworth at 24th. Avoid that area if you can. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery.
The Nebraska Lottery has raised over $908 million, which has helped to provide more than 117,000 college scholarships, save wildlife habitats across the state, and fund new facilities at the Nebraska State Fair. The Nebraska Lottery, helping to build a better Nebraska.
Here's this week's Maverick Minute. The number 15 Omaha hockey team erased a 2-0 deficit last Saturday night to go to a 3-2 overtime victory and a weekend sweep of the Miami Redhawks. The Mavericks return home this weekend for a top 15 matchup against St. Cloud State. Also, it'll no longer be the final home series for the Mavs as they secured home ice for the opening round of the NCHC playoffs. And that's your Maverick Minute on your home for the Mavs. News Talk 1290, 1180 The Zone, and 1620 The Zone.
Do you know a high school senior who'd like a $12,000 college scholarship? Well, be sure to tell them that the Salvation Army is now seeking nominations for the DJ's Hero Award scholarships. We're looking for Nebraska high school seniors who have overcome adversity and who are doing the most good in their communities. The application deadline is March 8th. Nominate your hero today. Just go to djsheroapp.org for more information. That's djsheroapp.org, djsheroapp.org.
Duck Defense Midwest makes your home healthier and improves the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com for a special duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. That's cleanairradio.com.
The best part about taking ZQuil Pure Z's Sleep Plus Next Day Energy at night is actually the next morning. I wake up alert with none of the grogginess from taking too much melatonin. Pure Z Sleep Plus Next Day Energy is a bilayer tablet with immediate release melatonin and extended release B vitamins to help me fall asleep naturally and wake refreshed. It's my secret weapon for a great night's sleep and a great morning.
Hi, Mom.
Can't beat that.
ZQuil Pure Z's gummies. Sleep better, wake your best.
Are you wasting money on a timeshare you rarely use? Cancel it with Titan Exit Group. Get a free consultation and see how they can stop the never-ending maintenance fees and mortgage payments. In fact, if your timeshare contract is not terminated, you owe nothing, so you have nothing to lose. But those monthly fees. Get legally released from your timeshare, 100% guaranteed. Call now for your free consultation at 800-200-0894. 800-200-0894.
Are you the kind of person who feels sorry for anyone who works in an office? If you prefer to be outdoors in the sun, or the rain, or the hot, or the cold, then Quality Irrigation would like just 30 seconds of your time. If you have experience with irrigation systems and would love to work with a team that'll make your career more rewarding, Quality Irrigation is the kind of company that'll reward your hard work, smart ideas, and initiative. Visit quality-irrigation.com and click the Careers tab to apply today. Equal Opportunity Employer.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferys at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferys. You're listening to Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Okay, so it's just dicks.
On 1620 The Zone.
Just announced, Jelly Roll is coming to Omaha. Jelly Roll brings the Backroad Baptism Tour with special guests Ashley McBride, with a Y, and Struggle Jennings to the CHI Health Center on August 25th. Tickets on sale this Friday, January 24th. Head to 1620thezone.com for your chance to win a pair to the show before you can buy them. All the info now at 1620thezone.com.
Speaking of winning, congrats to listener John. He's going to Cocaine Bear tomorrow.
But more importantly, congratulations to John for being the John that spells his name correctly.
Oh, without an H?
No, with an H, you doofus.
Oh, my bad, my bad. Good on John. Good on him being a listener and being caller number 20.
Yeah. And we will have one final opportunity. One final chance for you to win on the air, because I believe we have a pair that we're holding back for tomorrow for people that show up to the theater.
Oh.
I think that's what Nick said. But it's the final chance to win on air next hour. So listen for the sound of Al Pacino, the Al Pacino bear, snorting a line.
By the way, I think you might have said January 24th for Jelly Roll.
Yeah, the tickets go on sale this Friday, January 24th. But
This Friday is not January 24th. This Friday is February 24th.
Oh, great point.
Yeah. January was last.
So we switched to this newfangled, great, new, modern system, and it's still written as poorly as it was when it used to be on the other computer.
Whose fault is this, Nick?
I will bring that up to the person who did that.
Well, can you change it?
I cannot.
Oh, but you could change it on the old system.
I could.
This is not right. You're making me look like an idiot.
Yeah, good job, Nick. Now John
Remember,
looks like a
whatever-
complete
exactly.
moron.
Right, John doesn't usually need my help with that.
Oh.
Listen
Wow.
next hour for caller 72.
Let's go. I don't know. That might be a low number. Caller 100. Why don't you tell me what movie you want to see?
Wait.
Caller 72 next hour in the
Awesome.
5 o'clock hour when you hear the Cocaine Bear sounder.
Awesome.
72?
72, baby.
Amazing Jana says, go F yourself, San Diego. Nice. That's a good reference. That's Anchorman.
I guess you know what? I never caught that.
Yeah.
This is like
Thank
the
you
fourth
to
time.
David.
This is the fourth time I've ever read this, and the
Oopsies.
first time we've ever caught it.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either.
They go on sale this Friday, January 24th.
Oh, man, I'm so pumped for January 24th. The Cowboys are still in the playoffs. Oh, wait, I think it's 1 month ago today that they got eliminated, so that's a huge bummer.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Oh,
exactly. Hey, do you know what? Do you know who spoke today?
What in the world, Nick? I can't believe what you just did there. That's garbage.
What?
I'll tell you off air. Wow.
Uncle
Wow.
Don.
Trump?
Uncle Don spoke today.
Trump is back? What is he tweeting? Or no, he's on
Donovan
Truth.
Raiola, Uncle
Truth.
Don.
What did he say?
Well, he and Rob
I was
Dvorak.
only brought back because of my nephew. Is that what he said?
Well, he was asked today.
Did that reporter ask again about recruits?
No, I don't know, but he was asked about staying on at Nebraska, and he said that staying was a no-brainer. He says he's grateful for the opportunity. And he was asked, what was he thinking while everything was kind of uncertain, while the coaching staff is changing over and he's still coming into work every day. And his quote was, my thing was to just keep going to work, keep showing up. Everything worked out great.
I heard that is that he was, I think I might have told the story on the air. He was the only coach from the previous staff that was still showing up to the office before he had gotten news on whether he was or wasn't going to be retained. No other coach did that. And it impressed Matt Rule.
Now, the fact that he was showing up every day with a jacket embroidered with I'm Dylan's uncle on it didn't hurt either. But
this is Dylan's phone number. It was on the jacket.
Picture.
Yeah.
He's got the little tag. Hello, my name is Donovan, but my nephew is Dylan.
Call me Dylan's uncle. That's what I am. That's what I am.
And he would casually just meet the coaches down for lunch at the training table and say, I was talking with my nephew today. He has a pretty good arm. He kind of throws the football well. But yeah, he and Dvorak and Corey Campbell, the strength and conditioning coach. And of course, Campbell, he was the first of the assistants to be here physically.
Yeah.
And a lot of that was because of the new facility and wanting to make sure that whatever input he thought was necessary in terms of staffing and supplying the new weight room, which is going to be enormous. But that was one of the main reasons he wanted to be there, was so that he could get his influence on it. And it has to be nice. It's not very often you get a chance to inherit a situation where you're getting brand new facilities, but they're not so far along that you don't have influence over how things have changed.
It's crazy.
It would be interesting to know.
Mitch Sherman wrote about that.
Yeah, he did. But how much, from the original plan, it's changed. Like, well, no, we want the end tables over here instead of over here.
Hey, those 20 extra lockers for the walk-ons. No, we're destroying the walk-on program. We don't need those anymore.
But in all seriousness, does that mean the lockers get bigger?
Yeah, it's a good question.
There's a lot of little details in all of that. The amazing thing is the thing's going to be open in July.
Yeah.
Now, it won't be totally open. They're prioritizing the functional levels. By functional, I mean the weight room and the recovery room and the stuff for the players. And the other stuff like the offices and the stuff that doesn't directly relate to the players, they put a prioritization on the player side of it so they can open that and then they'll finish up. So the coaches will probably still be officing, I'm guessing, in the Osborne complex, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, while they finish it up.
Yeah. But it's for a project that started not too long ago with digging dirt out of a fake trench.
Good Lord.
Almost done.
That was pathetic. The AD gone, head coach gone.
That's true. Everyone who had a shovel in that dirt is no longer here.
Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good.
At least Billy C could say, "Hey, we were there to shovel the dirt on the Osborne Center, and we managed to be here for a year."
Blueprint for championships.
You know what? They should recreate that tunnel walk.
I would love it.
They should recreate that tunnel walk, this time with Matt Rule holding up the blueprint for championships.
By the way, I found the picture. So it's Bill Moose, Ted Carter, Ronnie Green, and Scott Frost. Gosh, what a hilarious picture. I'm going to tweet it.
And they're all digging dirt out of a trench. Basically, it's like they're putting in potted plants. It's not the actual dirt that's being moved. Well, and we also had the picture that, when they broke ground on the Astrodome, instead of using shovels, they just shot guns into the ground.
Oh, my Lord.
Dead serious. This actually happened.
Sounds like a Texas thing.
They actually lined up a bunch of people like a firing squad and shot rifles into the ground.
Yeah. They dug out those bullets and framed them too. Put them in a shadow box and commemorated them.
I'm guessing they probably used blanks that might be a little dangerous. Yeah, that's true. It is Texas, and it was the 60s.
Indeed.
And as we know, Texas, guns, 60s, bad results.
Mm-hmm. People forget.
We'll be back with more of Unsportsmanlike Conduct. We've got Coach Porter coming up. We got to get to him now.
I know!
16:20 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620, The Zone.
Creighton Sports Update.
Creighton women's basketball is back at DJ Sokol Arena on Monday as they host the Butler Bulldogs on senior night. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Limited tickets are available online at gocreighton.com/tickets. That's Creighton versus Butler, Monday at 6 p.m. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Guys, let's face it, there is a time when you just need to get out of the house, to have your own place, to be with the guys, or just a quiet, relaxing place for yourself. Well, Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge hears you loud and clear. Settle in. Escape to Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge for an incredible selection plus premium cocktails, a knowledgeable, friendly staff, state-of-the-art humidor, and incredible lounge. Hearth Cigars and Pipes Lounge, just off I-680 at 48th Street next to Cubby's.
Ready to revolutionize your home's look? Smash those outdated windows and upgrade with J-Tech Construction, the official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers. For a limited time, qualified buyers enjoy no payments and 0 interest for a year. Plus, receive a free triple paint upgrade. Trust the best in the business and see why so many homeowners choose us. Contact us now and take the first step toward a stunning home transformation. The official exterior and solar experts of the Huskers, J-Tech Construction, your exterior experts.
Take your basketball game to a whole nother level with Omaha Sports Academy. Tryouts are right around the corner for youth boys and girls February 27th and March 1st. For high school girls, March 5th. For high school boys, March 12th. You can be part of a program that will take your game to a whole nother level. You can practice and play in top-notch facilities with OSA-trained coaches under the oversight of a full-time professional coaching staff that's got a lengthy resume of success. It's the only program in Nebraska on the Adidas Gold Circuit. So ensure your opportunities to college coaches regionally and nationally and be your best. Learn teamwork, responsibility, and much more with Omaha Sports Academy.
Your 13th ranked Omaha Maverick hockey team is third in the NCHC and has secured home ice for the playoffs for the first time since the opening of Baxter Arena. Because of you, Maverick fans, they're fourth in the nation in attendance. Get your tickets now for the final home series and senior weekend against number 5 St. Cloud on February 24th and 25th, and for the playoffs on March 10th and 11th. Let's rock the Baxter. Get your tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS or at omavs.com/tickets.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
The college baseball season is underway. Everybody back on the road this weekend, including the Omaha Mavericks. It's nice to invite a new friend of the program in his 7th season as the head coach of Mav Baseball. Evan Porter joining us here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Coach Porter, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
It's great to have you. I know it was a rough week last week at UCLA, but you've kind of made this a habit, going out there. It's the second time you've been out there to play UCLA. You played USC, San Jose State, some others. Do you always try to focus on getting to the West Coast specifically early on?
Not necessarily the West Coast, but we do like to try to find the most challenging non-conference weekends early on that we can. And it seems like the weather's a little bit more consistent going west, whether it be California or Phoenix, rather than, a Florida or Texas trip. But yeah, I guess it's not specifically California, but more so the opponents that we play.
Coach, along those lines, I wanted to ask you, how tough it can be mentally on you versus how tough it could be mentally on the players. And I wonder how you think that they handled it, just knowing, of course, a ranked team, what could happen and ultimately what did happen.
Sure. No, you're exactly right. And, we tell our guys every time we go out and play these top 25 programs is this is where, we want to evaluate ourselves and hopefully we're playing, a team like this in the postseason. So that's always the goal. And, this weekend it kind of spun on us and we had some rough days, but long term, I think day or weekends like we have will ultimately pay off.
Evan Porter joining us, the head coach of Omaha Maverick baseball. Do you think you have noticed results? Not obviously this year, you've only played one weekend, but just over the last handful of years, do you think you've noticed the results of challenging yourself early and how it has helped in the development of your program?
I think so, and we use it as a recruiting tool too. For we always try to get the best talent that we can from the city of Omaha and the state of Nebraska, and there's enough players in the state to win championships. So we use it as a recruiting tool to let these guys know that we're going to go test ourselves against some of the best in the country and go to some fun places to play. And like I said, I know last weekend didn't really work out, and sometimes, that happens, but one weekend or one game won't really define your season, but how you respond to it will. So that's kind of the message we gave our guys after the last game on Sunday.
Coach, one of the things that we have heard in all sports over the years, I know I've repeated it on the show, so maybe I'm going to end up looking like an idiot, is that former players, especially ones who exceeded at a high level, sometimes they find, becoming a coach difficult, given that like you hold yourself to a high standard and that you kind of know what is expected from yourself, and maybe it's hard to get that out of players. How did you find that transition into coaching, given that you were an All-American a couple of times over? You knew what it takes. You knew what it took to be a high-level player for Omaha baseball. How have you found that transition over, now almost a decade?
Sure. I was fortunate enough to play for Bob Harold and Chris Gadsden and Dan McGinn here at UNO, and then I got to coach alongside with them for my first 4 years as an assistant. So that was really beneficial for me, just to have that perspective as a player, and then going into an assistant coach. And then when I became head coach, I'm always still trying to get better, but it was hard to just know how much you can't control when it comes to game time. You prepare your teams as well as you can in the off season, and that'll kind of decide how the season goes. But being able to stay calm, cool, and collected it was a lot harder for me early on as a coach than it was as a player.
Talking with Evan Porter, head baseball coach at Omaha, you have the advantage of bringing back the Summit Player of the Year from last year, Mike Bovee. When you have a guy like this on your team who can put up the numbers, come up with the big hits, how much do you look to him to lead by both example and vocally?
Yeah, he's one of the younger guys on the team, and he's no doubt one of the team leaders. And he's like you just mentioned, when you have rough weekends like we just did, everybody looks to your leaders, and he's as steadfast as a person as they come. And I think that's just going to help him soar up whichever organization is lucky enough to get him this summer in the draft. So he's an even keel guy. He's got all those traits that professional baseball players need to be successful, and he comes from a baseball family. His dad was the head coach of Hastings College for over 20 years, and he's just a super kid where he's always one of the last ones off the bus, making sure he's picking up all the trash picked up, and it's really nice when you're one of your best players is also one of your hardest workers and best teammates.
He was an all-star in Summer League. I'm curious on the subject of Summer League. How important is Summer League ball in today's college game? Does it still have the same impact it did when you were a player and even before?
I don't think it has the same impact now as it used to with everything, being so available over video. But for position players, it still does. You want your position guys to go out and get as many reps as they can at the highest summer levels that they can. But pitchers can be, a case-by-case scenario where, say you got your one of your rotation guys throws 60-plus innings in the spring. They might not be ready to go right into a summer ball situation. They might need a break on their arm going into the summer. But for a guy like Mike, who went out to the Cape Cod last summer and he was an all-star there, it really increased his draft stock and showed a lot of scouts that he can play at the highest levels of college baseball and still be successful.
Looking ahead to conference season when that arrives in a little bit, how tough is the Summit League going to be this year?
It'll be good. I think we're maybe it's the most talented and most depth that the Summit League has had, and North Dakota State ended up winning the regular season last year, and then we ended up winning it in 2019. But outside of those 2 seasons, Oral Roberts they've won it every year that they've been in it, 20 plus years in a row. So you're starting to see a little bit more disparity, and I think that's a good thing. South Dakota State has a really good team this year. St. Thomas joined the league last year, and they're already competitive and ready to go. So we'll see. It's nice when the tournament's not in Tulsa, and since North Dakota State won the regular season last year, they'll be hosting it in Fargo. So it'll be interesting to see how that tournament goes, but it'll be another competitive year in the league.
You got Fresno this weekend. Things you expect to see better this weekend than you saw last weekend?
We need to pick up the ball behind our pitchers a lot better, and for the most part, we didn't throw strikes near enough last weekend. And UCLA, that was a College World Series team that we were playing, but it's not who you play, it's how you play. So that was the message these last couple of days of practice, and we need to pick the ball up behind our pitchers, and our pitchers need to fill the zone a little bit better. So that's hopefully what we'll see as these weekends go on.
Coach, before I let you go, I reached out to one of your former teammates this morning. He was a freshman when you were a senior, and I said, "Do you have any stories?" And he said to ask you about the UNO flip team. Was a bunch of us on the team playing a game of flip and got wildly competitive. I think he should remember that.
Gosh, I hope he's talking about flip on the baseball field and not on a Friday night. But yeah, we had some pretty good games. I think now the guys like to play hacky sack, but back then it was always flip, where you get in a circle, you catch the ball in the glove, and then you kind of throw it at somebody, and when you hit somebody a little bit too hard, it can get those competitive juices going pretty high. So that happened quite often, and it was usually a good. You had a game in between the bus ride to where everybody could cool down a little bit, and then you could talk to each other. So yeah, there's some good moments there.
Awesome.
Evan Porter, head coach at Omaha Baseball. They're at Fresno State this weekend, but I believe they get to break the seal locally, the game next Tuesday at Tal Anderson Field against K-State. I hope that one's still on and that the weather cooperates.
We've been watching it closely, and it looks like it's going to be just under 50 degrees and sunny, and we've got an awesome administration that's making sure any snow that's left over is off. So it's looking like we're going to play on Tuesday at home.
That's fantastic. Well, good luck this weekend at Fresno. Good luck this season. We'll catch up with you down the road. Appreciate the time.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Coach.
Evan Porter of Omaha Baseball. They will, they got Kansas State next Tuesday. They're hosting Creighton on March the 7th. That will be the re-debut of Creighton baseball on the radio here on
we're back.
The stations of the zone.
Folks.
Yeah, we're in games again. I'm excited.
Baseball.
Can't wait to drive around.
John's going to let me be the color commentator.
Is this true?
And we talked about it in our meeting, remember?
Nick did bring it up in the meeting.
Now we're going to take caller 170.
Nice.
I'll add more.
Somebody asked.
I know you will.
Someone asked, why didn't we do caller 69?
Nice.
69.
Because I was in a mood for 24,
69.
for things divisible and for 24. It's in the family.
Jordan quoting Coach, it's going to be just under 50 and sunny. Adds, not if Josh has anything to say.
That's true.
Thanks, Josh.
That's true.
Ruining local baseball. You're playing the whole time.
Ruining lives.
Ruining
lives.
Because the snow and the ice. They can't play on ice, Josh.
Drive safe tonight, friends. Drive safe.
I don't know where I was going with this. I'm just going to say that coming up next, we have Dumb Debates.
Boom.
Dumb Debates is next. And in this next hour, the happy hour, be listening for Cocaine Bear Sounder. It's our last pair of tickets to give away online for tomorrow night screening with us, with Connor and Josh, with Nick and Gary. Will Jimmy be there too?
I don't know. Maybe.
Did they invite Jimmy?
I hope so.
They better have invited Jimmy. I mean, we invited him.
Yeah, that's true.
But yes, we are hosting Tomorrow night, ACX Cinema 12 Plus in Elkhorn off of the Grand Army of the Republic Highway. And your last chance to win. Be caller 72.
You know what 72 is?
Well, no.
It's a divisible of 9.
On 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the time-saving traffic center, heads up, a crash with injuries on northbound 60th near Spalding Street is causing delays. We've also got a stall blocking the right shoulder on eastbound 680 at the eastbound I-80 split. If you're west on Dodge, stop and go traffic between 680 and 120th. If you're south on 680, stop and go traffic between Dodge and Pacific. And then delays on eastbound I-80 between Giles and 680, and delays on westbound I-80 between 42nd and 680. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
What does Saul's loan on? Almost everything, like tools, instruments, designer handbags, construction equipment, vehicles, trailers, appliances. $10 to $50,000 super fast and easy with no credit check. Saul's loans on almost everything.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Are you the kind of person who feels sorry for anyone who works in an office? If you prefer to be outdoors in the sun, or the rain, or the hot, or the cold, then Quality Irrigation would like just 30 seconds of your time. If you have experience with irrigation systems and would love to work with a team that'll make your career more rewarding, Quality Irrigation is the kind of company that'll reward your hard work, smart ideas, and initiative. Visit quality-irrigation.com and click the Careers tab to apply today. Equal Opportunity Employer.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language. Like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right. And they're designed by real language teachers, so you learn how to have real-world conversations, things you'll actually use.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Join up, join in. It's time to make good on those New Year's fitness resolutions by becoming a member at Croc Center Omaha. There you'll find a full range of fitness activities, from free weights to Zumba classes to an indoor track, pickleball, and more. Join now and save. We'll waive the fees, plus you'll get 1 month free with an annual paid in full or auto pay membership. The Croc Center is just moments away from the Kennedy Freeway and Q Street. Go to omahacroc.org for more information. That's omahakroc.org.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you could sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
In a house in Omaha, people gather in the kitchen. They don't talk about school and work. They talk about doctors and surgeries. They're the families of Ronald McDonald House Charities in Omaha. And the kitchen is where they come together to share the struggles their children are facing. For these families, it's the little things like a home-cooked meal, even while far from home, that make the biggest difference. Volunteer to prepare a meal by visiting rmhcomaha.org.
Tickets for Less. Best seats, best prices, no per-ticket fees. Ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. It would be nice to have a blow. Throw. From your mom.
Listen not to, we did anyway, dumb debating.
John's computer sucks, Macs are the only way, dumb debating.
Fullbacks are running backs, hamburger steaks.
Josh is too dumb to eat a cupcake.
Mayo base.
Does John like Nebraska or Creighton? Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating.
Die for the pylon or give up on the plate, dumb debating.
Millennials are great and old should go away, dumb debating.
Rarely do we find any common ground.
Josh wants his food to be the best around.
Even if it gives him fatal flatulation.
Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating. When a tree falls down and nobody's around, you can bet your ass it won't make a sound. Water ain't wet, you know nothing about hydration. Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating. Just three radio hosts on air, dumb debating.
Yes, indeed. Dumb debates, where we turn everything over to you and you submit your questions, your quandaries, your dumb debates. We have them all the time. It might be sitting next to someone at a sporting event. It might be at the dinner table. It might be at work. It might be in the shower, debating with someone else.
Nice.
Because you're trying to conserve water because you're a good lib.
It's important.
Anyway, however you come up with them, please send them our way and let us debate them here in a public forum. 402-951-1620. You can even text those debates to us. Or the usual way of Twitter at USC1620, JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Please use the hashtag dumb debates or the Equitable Bank inbox. John at 1620thezone.com or Josh at 1620thezone.com.
Aaron did the first one. He says, of the four major men's sports, is Nick Saban easily the best human in the state of Alabama? That would be a yes.
Well, based on the recent news coming out of Alabama basketball, and then you've got
Hugh Freeze.
Hugh Freeze.
Not great, Bob. And then Bruce
Pearl.
Pearl. I don't mind Bruce Pearl.
I mean, does Bruce Pearl cheat? Sure, but I'm sure a lot of them do. But as far as like a person,
Nick Saban seems like a nice guy.
Yeah. He likes the.
I don't think nice.
He
guy.
likes
Maybe
cream
not
pies for
he
lunch every day.
loves cream pies.
Lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
He gets grumpy sometimes.
He does get grumpy. He says, "Hey, Miss Terry, I want another cream pie."
You know, for the longest time, when he would talk about Miss Terry, I thought he was talking about like his secretary. It never dawned on me. Oh wait, that's what he calls his wife.
Oh, that's what he calls his wife?
Yeah, it's his wife.
It's like it's a Southern thing.
Yeah.
You call someone Miss someone.
On Dallas, the Miss Ellie was the matriarch of the Ewing family. They called her Miss Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a Southern. It's a Southern thing.
Old man Doug says, "Is the snow done after tomorrow?" No. Why would you ask such a? I mean, it is dumb debates. Never mind. I don't want to say that word. Doug,
please don't tempt Josh. Don't tempt Josh.
Why would the snow be done?
Don't tempt Josh.
I'm not going to say it's done.
The Rev Tom says, who would you rather have coaching your team and have to root for, Shaka or PJ Fleck? Shaka's got more success.
That's what I was going to say. Shaka.
Well, hold on.
Shaka took a team to the Final Four.
Let's be fair
and balanced.
PJ Fleck also took a quote-unquote mid-major
Yeah, they just went undefeated, though.
Yeah, but they went to a major bowl game, which is kind of the equivalent of a Sweet 16 in college football.
Wait a second. I have a question and a quandary with Wikipedia. Are they now putting coaching records inside of a... Okay, it's just Shaka's page. Okay, never mind. So he went to the Final Four. Otherwise, 32, 32, 64, 64, 60. It's basically like a bunch of first-round exits except for that one run that he parlayed into... Well, I guess it took a while for him to go to Texas. PJ Fleck, I don't know. I mean, this is definitely going to be his most successful season since the Final Four year, right? Given that this is he never was this good at Texas. Now, I guess they were the NIT champs one year. Cool. God, I almost want to say ask me in a month, but I know that's kind of cheating.
Well, but then think about it this way.
Ask me in a month.
So think about it from you have to cheer for the guy. Because I think that's kind of the spirit of where Rev Tom is coming from.
I like football more, so PJ.
Because it's the idea of PJ's annoying because, both of them
they're both trolls.
They come off try hard.
PJ, I'd rather have my coach wear a tie underneath a quarter zip than the compression sleeve underneath a polo.
I mean, they both have the histrionics of PJ running up and down the sidelines and then doing the whole row the boat thing while Shaka's getting down into defensive position when he meets his team at the huddle. And it's actually a really good question.
Amazing Danny says Shaka, I'd have more confidence in him actually making a basketball good where PJ could be streaky or would be streaky. Yeah, PJ Fleck's been very up and down, but so is Shaka.
Yes, he has.
He's been very up and down too.
Tom, that's a great question.
Did he get fired by Texas or did he leave? Why did he go to Marquette?
He left.
He did leave. Wow, that's crazy.
In a lot of ways, it's kind.
Did he beat?
It's kind of similar to how Mac left Iowa State.
What do they call that? There's a phrase for that, like you beat the posse out of town or whatever. Like, oh yeah, so that's what he did.
Oh man,
PJ. Final answer.
I think I'm going Shaka.
All right.
I think I'm going Shaka.
Speaking of basketball. And Shaka Smart and reactions. Jed asks, is there any bigger loser than one that blames ref?
Oh,
refs. Oh, wait, there is no debate there. There is the answer is no.
The aristocrats are weighing in.
There isn't a bigger loser.
No, excuse me. Are we having beef Wellington again for dinner tonight?
No, that said, John,
I would like some lobster tail and some béarnaise sauce, please.
Now,
Let me put some more tobacco in my pipe.
Ray followed up and said maybe one who blames the media for losses. Those people are huge losers. You did this. You said.
I mean, literally, officials are part of the on-court or field activity and can impact the result of a game. That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how great a fact that is in the eye of the beholder. But unless there is a media member that literally runs onto the floor and tackles somebody.
Damn it, Dirk, you did it again.
Or kicks the game-winning field goal or deflects the last-second pass. I mean, officials obviously can impact a game far more than the media can.
That's true. How about this one from Travis? Is there a fan that complains about refs more than basketball fans? Basketball fans do seem to bitch about refs more than any other sport. Now, maybe it's because we're in our little bubble here of college basketball, because there's so many teams and so many conferences. The quality of official is not. It's just not going to be as good as it can be in like college football or the NFL.
See,
I think people bitch more about college basketball refs than the NFL refs.
But there are more calls in a college basketball game than in a college football game. Or more. Well, no,
I don't know, man, because you could talk about holding every play.
That's not the right way to put it.
By the way, Zach says bigger losers, people who blame uniform combinations for losses. Yeah, those people suck. John, you're one of those. They wore the all-white uniforms.
They suck in the white uniforms.
See, that's stupid.
They suck.
Good Lord.
And they look ugly.
Oh, see, now that's what your take really is.
They look ugly and they lose in them.
Not this year.
They've also been losing in the others. But that's not a point.
Bingo.
The point is they suck in the wall whites.
Dong. Sam says, I know a lot of MLB umpires by their first name. Are baseball fans that insane with the umps?
Well,
More
okay,
than,
now
like,
actually,
fans?
now literally the umpire adjudicates every single play with the strike zone.
It's true.
So no official
What will you be doing?
Has more impact on every single play than the baseball umpire, who has to call, upwards of 250 balls and strikes during the course of a 9-inning game.
Mm-hmm.
There's only, on average, there's probably, we'll just round it to 70 possessions in both a basketball game and and about 70 or 140 plays in a football game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
There are
if
more
you think
pitches.
if you think of each pitch as a play, there's
pitch.
more
Say it again,
literal
Cutler.
calls.
Every pitch.
Oh, that's not Cutler. That's David Lee.
That's a tough one.
What will you be doing?
Because again, the volume is with football because more people tweet about and talk about.
That's why you got to do
football.
pound for pound. You can't just do because yes, we tweet more about NFL refs because the NFL is the thing we watch the most.
Yeah.
But if you just do pound for pound,
basketball probably wins.
God, it's insufferable.
Every
It is
play.
insufferable, which is why I wish they could be better at their jobs. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend the Aristocrat.
You got any?
Yes, I do.
All right, I got one too. You go first.
And it's kind of related to, and by the way, be listening because caller 72
Caller
later this hour for the Cocaine Bear Sounder for our last pair that we're giving away on the air.
Nice.
The screenwriter, I saw this. This is a tweet from Variety magazine, or I guess it's now just a website. Do they actually still publish a magazine?
Good question.
The screenwriter behind Cocaine Bear wants to clarify where audiences' allegiances should be. Quote, "The bear's not the bad guy in this movie.
Oh.
What happened is a product of circumstance and everybody else's poor decisions." So he's setting the table for us that we should be rooting for the Cocaine Bear in Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear did nothing wrong.
Or at least that the Cocaine Bear is not the heel.
Okay, so what's your question?
Well, my question off of this, how would this change the way we approach other movies that feature?
If you were told, like,
Jaws
Darth Vader
is just a
is
shark.
Like, for
Darth
example,
Vader is
yes,
misunderstood.
if Spielberg would have said, the shark really isn't the bad guy in this picture.
It's just a shark.
I mean,
An animal can't be malevolent. It's they're animals.
It's his ocean or her ocean. It's not my ocean. It's the shark.
I mean, in reality, Spielberg could have said, hey, the shark's not the bad guy in this movie. What happened is a product of circumstance and everyone else's poor decisions. Like, you shouldn't be swimming in the damn ocean.
Yeah, think about it. If sharks could make movies, they would have made a movie from a different perspective where the I don't remember the actors' names, where they were the bad guys. And like the dana, that would be about the boat showing up. Meanwhile, that poor shark left its family of sharks at home. Bye, Tom. Have a great day. No, it's going to die. Because of the.
And it's going to die because I swallowed an air compressed tank. Oh God, Roy Scheider shot a bullet through it and blew my ass up.
Exactly. Jeez, poor shark.
You imagine what Roy was it? Would you call him Tom? Tom the shark?
Yeah.
You imagine what Tom the shark's family would have said. Hey, how did your old man die? Well, my old man died because he got in a fight with an orca. How did your old man die? Well, he got blown up because he swallowed an compressed air tank, and Roy Scheider shot it with a freaking rifle. It blew my dad up.
Can you imagine Old Yeller from the dog's point of view?
Oh,
poor Old Yeller.
No.
Man. You missed it. You missed it, Nick. We were talking about these movies being made from the animal's perspective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What other movies?
Do dogs die?
No.
Oh.
Are animals like a bad guy?
Wasn't there was the movie with I'm
the captain.
Oh, Jennifer Aniston and I'm forgetting his name.
Adam Sandler.
No.
God, Vince Vaughn.
But he was with Vince Vaughn in
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson and Jennifer. Didn't they do a dog movie? Marley.
Oh, Marley.
I never saw that
Owen
movie.
Wilson. That movie's sad.
Yeah, I was like, I'm not trying to watch a dog die again.
Can you imagine if that movie was made from the dog's perspective, and the dog's perspective was, I've been wanting to die this whole time because I'm tired of my human owner.
Wow.
That's kind of a suicide pact.
Man, this is getting dark. I got one. Mike
or is it
Schaefer,
getting bark?
Good Lord. Mike Schaefer asked me this question this morning. At what age is sports watching the most fun? Shopping.
Not age 51, I can tell you that.
That's nice. 34.
I think it depends on how recently you've gotten into sports.
So is the question less age and more how long you've been a fan?
Yeah, I think it
because
could
you're having more fun watching sports now than you ever have.
Exactly. Both Formula One and football.
Because I'm definitely not having the most fun I've ever had watching sports. I think the answer is somewhere between like 13 and 17. When like you have no other responsibilities, you can throw yourself into it, like that is when my fandom probably peaked when I was like 15, Those are good times. Just be obsessed with sports, trying to learn as much as you could.
Yeah, it's definitely when you're younger, because you can live in the world where it's just about sports. And you're not caught up in all the stupid minutia. I can't imagine that there's a lot of, 12-year-old college football fans out there who are talking much
bitching about NIL.
Talking about NIL or the transfer portal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
See, that's the fun part about being a fan as a kid. Or you don't worry about that stuff.
Or about conference realignment.
Yeah, or CBA negotiations.
Right.
You just watch it because you love the game.
Right. Now, it wasn't fun when I was 12 years old and the NFL went on strike, and then you ended up learning a lot about, unions and
my first
owners
experience
and
with
how
that was
stupid both groups are.
It was actually 2002 with Major League Baseball, but they got the deal done and they kept on playing. I don't remember 94.
Yeah,
the ref strike.
It's definitely younger because it's a more innocent time when it's literally just about the sports. And dare I say, there's an ignorance to it, but there's a sweet innocence about the ignorance where you looked up to the athletes and they were people you wanted to get their autographs and you wanted to learn more about them, and not learn about them the way we now learn about athletes today, especially when you're older.
Yeah. Dave says Nebraska went 60-3 with 3 national championships when I was in college. That's my answer.
I don't think there's any question. The answer has to be when you're young. When you're just coming into your sports maturity, if you will.
Yeah, when you are old enough to remember, but you are also not young enough to just, be a little dumbass kid.
I mean, imagine there will be a time where someone will look back fondly on this day. Because
because the knowing little Chiefs fans.
Because the 12-year-olds of today,
man, they're gonna have a tough time when they don't have Mahomes
12.
anymore.
I love the Chiefs. They're never gonna lose again.
Yep, that's what they're saying right now. See, to be a 12-year-old Chiefs fan, seriously, that's like the dream of fandom. Now, there's also the dark side of this fandom is that, assuming that Kansas City drops off post Mahomes, which they will, those kids who then will become adults are going to look back on those age and say, I wish I was older.
It's going to be like Nebraska.
Maybe the answer isn't being a kid if your team is good. Because I always thought it would have been cool, like Dave, to be a fan of Nebraska when I was in college and they were good. Because I was there. You did it from a different angle, though, because you're already in the media.
But I would have had a lot more fun with it as a 12-year-old if they would have won the 83.
I do think you were onto something there, Josh. From my perspective, wasn't into sports, but that's when I dug really deep into music and artists and a bunch of different bands.
At 15?
Yeah. That was probably the height of it. I was just discovering all this music that I hadn't found before.
Like Nebraska won a natty when I was 9. That's way too young to have your peak fandom. Way too young.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll always look back on that like I wish I could have appreciated it more.
I have a video. I have a video. It's not not a video, but it's a picture, a visual dumb debates. It is a picture of a sandwich. It's a half-eaten
from Johnny Pig
sandwich, which asks, where is your next bite? Now, the sandwich, there are 3 different points on the half-eaten sandwich. There is a point at one of the corners where you see a little bit of meat hanging out. That's the first point. The second point is in the heart of the sandwich.
The peninsula of bread and meat.
Yeah, there's no crust.
There's
it's
no
all
crust.
bread.
It's literally the heart. As Mark Richt. Remember when Mark Richt used to diagram the perfect way to eat a sandwich?
Yes, I do.
And I believe he called this section the filet mignon of the sandwich.
So we know his answer.
And then the third section is the other end where it looks like it's a corner piece where it's a lot of crust and probably not a lot of meat. So the question is, where is your next bite?
So some comments real fast before we decide. Jordan says number 2. Dave says 3. Amazing Danny says 2. Any other answer is given by a sociopath. I stand with Mark Richt. I'd go number 2. There's so much. There's so much meat. There's so much bread.
No, see, that's why you save 2 for the end.
Oh,
3
You're just
is
gonna eat
first.
around it like a
Yes.
circle. I've
That's
done
how
that
I
before,
like to eat
but-
my sandwiches.
What? You
Yes.
crazy person.
I like to save the filet mignon part for the end.
Absolutely 2. By the way, I can't
Thank
not.
you,
I
Nick.
can't skip off that opportunity. I like crust.
What do you
I'm
mean
not
skip?
anti-crust.
Well, I'm not either, but you save the filet mignon for last.
No, but then you get messy by the time you get. If you're gonna eat around it like a circle, it
Well,
gets a
if
little
you don't,
messy.
if you don't pile a lot of stupid slime on there and make it messy, you'll be fine. I always save 2 for the last.
What, do you really? So you eat around like a little circle?
Not totally,
That's
but I
very
do.
odd.
But I do make sure that the last bite is somewhere in the periphery of the filet mignon of the sandwich.
Interesting.
And this is, by the way, the traditional sandwich, not the submarine
Not a sub,
sandwich.
yeah.
But the 2 slices of wheat bread, and some bologna and some cheese and
I think
some
that's-
mustard
yeah.
and no slime.
No
I
slime.
think there's mayonnaise on there.
I'm gonna have a sandwich tonight. There
Hey,
will be
me too.
mayonnaise on it. I can't wait. I'm very excited.
I don't have any mayonnaise. I just have
Ham,
mustard.
bacon, pickles, jalapenos, onions.
If you put it like some oil
Oh,
and
is it-
vinegar, you
did
don't
she make-
need slime.
I'm gonna add oil and vinegar. As
Did
well.
she
So
make-
you're gonna go extra slimy. You're gonna add oil and vinegar and then add slime.
Sean,
Why?
because I like flavor.
Did she
and
make her
There's
vinegar.
no
buns?
flavor to it.
Oh yeah, she made it for the Super Bowl, and they've been in the freezer. But I took it out of the freezer today.
Oh hell yeah, fresh buns.
Her bread is incredible. By the way, fandom stuff. Kelsey says, my daughter invited Scott Frost to her 5th birthday, and he sent her a letter back. She won't remember the record, but she'll remember the letter. Kind of an emotional tug of a story. Do we want to make fun of Scott Frost, or should we move on?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Was
All
the
right,
letter
perfect.
asking her if she had golden tea anywhere at the party?
Nice. Corey says, I'm having more fun being fans with my preteen kids. So living through the fandom of a child. You've talked about the Super Bowl and how emotional that was for you, with your son being a Rams fan with you. So you can relate to that. You showed emotion even that Monday. One of the very first times that you showed that type of emotion. I think you might have even shed a tear.
Nope, I never shed a
that's
tear.
right.
I missed that show.
You don't cry.
Nope.
Yeah. Joel says, I'm on Team John. I save the middle for last and keep the mayo off. David also
Who said that?
He agrees with John. Joel.
Joel did? Joel? That man deserves.
Oh, nope. You're not going to be able to find it. Oh,
You're supposed to put it on the page. Did you not put it on the page?
Pardon me while I stand up.
good job, Nick.
and applaud.
You know what, Nick? Play it for yourself, too, because you actually moved to the drop to the wall. Good on you. Ha, Jordan.
Listen, I'm just trying to convert people one less slime at a time.
Another sandwich question. Quick.
Well, let me make the Scott Frost joke. Jordan says, will there be a margarita machine? All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you guys put chips on your sandwich?
No. That's what kids do.
No.
Yeah, kids. I do it.
I think it's weird. I just don't understand. Like,
I
want
like the crunch. It's the crunch, and then sometimes there's another flavor factor. Like salt and vinegar chips are real good on sandwiches because then it's like the salt and vinegar without having to add the vinegar.
love salt and vinegar.
But here's the problem. I don't like soggy chips.
They don't get soggy.
Well, if it's up against some meat that has maybe a
Well,
little
you gotta
moisture on it
layer-
or some mustard or
You got to
whatever.
layer the sandwich the right way. You can't get any of the condiments
Yeah.
on the chip.
I
Or
get-
if you eat it fast enough, the condiments act as an adhesive to the meat, so then the chips don't even move.
I mean, as one who appreciates the crunchy peanut butter, I understand. I understand the whole concept of, but I think you can get the same level of texture if you have a nice piece of crunchy onion on your sandwich.
Yeah, see, that's why I lean more of the crunchy veggies.
Or a crunchy pickle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I got
Or
spicy
a
pickles
delicious
right now.
crunchy piece of tomato.
No,
I do like
take the tomato and throw it in the trash,
I don't know
John.
if I've ever had a crunchy tomato.
that was actually a joke.
I know.
If the tomato's crunchy, you're probably eating it a little bit too early.
Travis says John has soggy chips because he uses too much mayo.
I don't use any mayo.
I can't wait for us to figure out that John has actually been protesting too much this whole time, and he's a mayo fiend.
Oh, you can ask
that
my
happens
family.
with politicians where they'll go real hard against an issue, and then we'll find out.
Like, why have none of us ever been to John's house? Because he's got a pantry full of mayo.
Oh, I do, but it ain't for me. You can ask my family. I go on these same rants at home, especially when they pull out the slime to dip their fries in.
Okay, now
I'm not
like
into
an
fries and
aioli.
mayo.
I don't dip it straight in the mayonnaise.
Friesies and mayo is too much.
Yeah, that's not how I roll. I'd say that was a. Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that's a good dumb debate.
It was a good dumb debate.
Yeah,
it was a good dumb debate.
Nice.
And as usual, dumb debates. We usually average about 1 out of every 4 dumb debates where it comes back to slime.
We do talk a lot of mayonnaise.
We do.
I'm just trying to end this.
The mayo boys.
Trying to end slime as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to murder the slime.
Whoa!
Coming up, we have content.
Yep.
And let's see, you mentioned something just a second ago, then that triggered something in
Was
my
it the
memory.
Alabama stuff?
Oh, you mentioned it's a margarita day. We do have a margarita-based question.
Hell yes, let's go.
I don't know if you're going to like this question.
Oh, rats.
But I do know this. If you have not had your gas furnace inspected in the last year, you need to put everything down right now. Drop everything and contact McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air Conditioning. Go to McCarthy's1hour.com and schedule a furnace inspection today. Not only will you get a thorough and one of the best inspections around from their professionally licensed techs, that will keep your furnace functioning smoothly, comfortably, efficiently, and safely. Because unfortunately, if you have not had a furnace inspection in many years, you could be running the risk of carbon monoxide poisoning. You do not want that. It's important to have your gas appliances properly maintained. And if you get in touch with McCarthy's today, you can get half off a carbon monoxide detector, which you should also have in your home if you have a gas furnace, with each maintenance inspection. That's right, just half off. So contact McCarthy's 1 Hour Heating and Air today. And remember, when you contact McCarthy's, they'll be on time because they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. McCarthy's1hour.com.
The Connor Happer Show.
If Mahomes was a horse in the Kentucky Derby, do you think he would have got to run in the Derby the way he was limping?
One-way ticket to the glue factory for Patrick Mahomes. Take him out back.
Well, here's the advantage that we humans have over horses. We can communicate our wants and intentions. Horses can't be like, look, I want to run through this pain.
I can go, coach.
I want to run. I have to do this. This is important to me.
The Connor Happer Show. Weekdays from 10 to 2 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
A winter weather advisory, some light icing into the evening, temperatures in the upper 20s, then a dusting to an inch of snow later tonight. Windy and colder, a low down around 10, then very cold and windy for Thursday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Bill Ranby from KETV Newswatch 7.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct, brought to you by a great friend of the program, Union Bank and Trust.
1620 The Zone. Traffic.
From the time-saving traffic center, we got a wreck blocking the right shoulder on westbound I-80 at Giles. It's got traffic stopped back from the 680 split. Also a stall blocking the exit ramp on southbound JFK at Highway 370. That's causing stop-and-go traffic back from Cornhusker Road. And then if you're east on I-80, delays between 96th and 480. Delays on the southbound JFK between I-80 and F Street. Delays on southbound 680 between Dodge and Pacific. And if you're east on Dodge, delays between 150th and 108th. I'm Mike Neville. This time-saving traffic is brought to you by Fernando's Omaha.
Love Languages, presented by Fernando's. 2 acts of service.
I made you tacos.
Come and feel the love at Fernando's, 75th and Pacific, 114th and Dodge, and FernandosOmaha.com.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Join Genesis Health Clubs today for just $10 and save $20 per month every month with no contract. Hi, I'm Rodney Stephen, owner of Genesis Health Clubs, here with the secret to healthy fitness habits. It's true that there are plenty of people who manage to stay consistent with exercise over lunch or after work, but the real secret is scheduling exercise into your daily routine. Pick a time, and that is your time to exercise. What is more important than your health? Nothing. So what time are you working out tomorrow? I'm inviting you to give it a try by joining Genesis Health Clubs for just $10 and save $20 a month, all with no contract.
This offer will not extend. These rates end forever on Tuesday.
Whether your exercise is at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., schedule your exercise because it's the most important part of your schedule. And now life's little interruptions won't stand in your way. Make today your day for better health. Come into any Genesis location or go online and get started for just $10 and save $20 per month with no contract.
These rates end forever on Tuesday and won't extend.
Go to GenesisHealthClubs.com to get started today.
He was the heart of your family, and he taught you our history. He helped you fix your first flat. He was the best backyard DJ around, and every time he'd tell a story, he'd own the room. But now more than ever, he may feel alone. Today, older adults and their loved ones are struggling to connect, in a time when connection has never been more important. But there is something we can do. Embrace our older loved ones through StoryCorps Connect. With StoryCorps Connect, you can honor seniors remotely with an interview about their life. Every interview will be archived at the Library of Congress, becoming part of American history, so that years from now, future generations can listen in.
All right, Grandpa, what's one piece of advice you have for me?
Just 3 words, sweetheart. Live with courage. The man that had the best stories still has plenty of stories to tell. So connect virtually and share the conversation of a lifetime at StoryCorpsConnect.org/AARP. Connect, honor, share. StoryCorps Connect. A message from AARP, StoryCorps, and the Ad Council.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, don't you soft on the party. This is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. My crib is always soft. It's our party vibe. She's crushing everything, so our chicks feel fly. So every booty wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
This is unsportsmanlike conduct.
Leia, you whore!
The 1620. The Zone.
We have a winner.
Who is our winner, Nick?
Kevin.
Caller 72. Kevin. That's awesome.
Now, we will be live at ACX Cinema 12 Plus in Elkhorn, just off the Clone Army of the Republic Highway in Elkhorn for our screening of Cocaine Bear. The program will be there from 2 to 6. Then we're going to have some chow, and then we're going to go watch the movie.
I'm going to have some pizza.
Yes, pizza, which is how the adults say it. It's time for another Woodhouse Wednesday on 1620 The Zone. Seriously, if you're close to your web right now, please go to 1620thezone.com and get registered to win a Woodhouse prize pack. The self-care package prize pack, you get a Yeti duffel bag, JBL headphones, portable blender, $100 gift card to Shields, and a deep tissue kneading pillow. Plus, each winner who gets the Woodhouse Wednesday prize pack enters to win the grand prize of $2,600. You can only do this online. Go to 1620thezone.com today. And it's only for today because it's Woodhouse Wednesdays.
It's a Wednesday.
With Woodhouse Auto Family and 1620thezone.com. Go there now. The Alabama Crimson Tide, we alluded to this a little bit earlier.
Dude.
But their leading scorer is a freshman standout, Brandon Miller.
Yes.
Well, there was a murder that took place in Tuscaloosa, killing a 23-year-old woman.
This was last month.
Yes. In which
a now former
teammate of his
used a handgun.
Yeah, is accused.
Yes.
But Brandon Miller is now involved because,
by the way, it was Darius Miles. Darius Miles was the
teammate.
Yeah.
But Brandon Miller's involvement stems from the fact that the gun used apparently was delivered to the alleged assailant by Miller.
Yeah, reading from the ESPN story, Tuscaloosa detective, and what you're saying, okay, this happened in January. Miles is off the team. Why is this coming up now? Tuscaloosa detective Brandon Culpepper testified yesterday, that Miller brought Darius Miles' gun to him on the night of the shooting death of 23-year-old Jamea Jonay Harris after Miles asked him to do so via text message. So, look, I don't know all of the legal terms. Sounds like an accessory, though.
Now, he has not been charged with anything.
He has not.
He has not been charged with anything. In fact, I'm trying to see. I thought there was a quote that here it is. Miller has not been charged with a crime. Crimson Tide coach Nate Oates sent in a news conference on Tuesday the program had been aware of Miller's alleged link to the case. The chief deputy district attorney told AL.com on Tuesday that, quote, there's nothing we could charge Miller with.
Now,
Now,
this happened on January 15th, so just a little over a month ago.
Now, Nate Oates, the head coach, was asked about it earlier this week.
And this is, so there was some controversy yesterday.
Yes.
Because he had this long answer and it ended essentially, and I guess I should
Well,
have,
here it is. We knew about that. Can't control everything anybody does outside of practice. Nobody knew that was going to happen. Brandon hasn't been in any type of trouble, nor is he in any type of trouble in this case. Wrong spot at the wrong time.
Yeah, and so that he ended up putting out a statement last night, apologizing for that and trying to walk it back. Reading from the story again from ESPN.com earlier today, this is Jeff Borzella who wrote it. Byrne, this is their athletic director, Greg Byrne, son of Bill Byrne. Byrne said some of the quote-unquote new information that emerged from the Tuesday hearing and afterward impacted the school's decision. The text that Miles allegedly sent to Miller, according to the testimony, stated a slang term for wanting his gun, quote, I need my joint, end quote. So he was asking for it, and gosh, there was another story that I read earlier today. Basically, I mean, when he got the gun, it was loaded and there was a bullet in the chamber.
Okay. Alabama Athletics put out a statement an hour or so ago that read, UA Athletics continues to cooperate fully with law enforcement on the ongoing investigation of the tragic situation. Based on all the information we have received, Brandon Miller is not considered a suspect in this case, only a cooperative witness. Today's statement from Brandon's lawyer adds additional context that the university is considered as part of its review of the facts. Based on all the facts we have gathered, Brandon remains an active member of our team. And it looks like he is going to be in the starting lineup tonight.
By the way, just correcting a couple things from earlier. So we mentioned Miles. He has been removed from the team. Michael Lynn Davis, he is the one who faces the capital murder charges in that death. It's not Miles, but
Sorry.
Miles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miles. So when Miles arrived, or when Miles had the gun, he told Davis that the heat is in the hat, and that means that the gun had arrived. It was in a hat, I believe, and then mentioned that there was indeed a bullet that a round had been chambered. So there you go. just wild, that this is coming out. And obviously they're having an incredibly successful season.
Yes, they are.
What are they, second in the country right now? And they already, one of their teammates already got, kicked off the team earlier this year. And now this stuff comes out. But yeah, they announced 3.5 hours before tip-off for tonight's game that he would indeed be playing.
Coming up next, it is unsportsmanlike content. We mentioned there's going to be a reference to margaritas because today is National Margarita Day. And a Nebraska offer went out this week.
Oh, is it to Numbers Boy?
Numbers Boy?
No.
No. It's another offer.
Oh.
On 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everyone. Josh Peterson here for my friends at Kugler Vision. It has been for me darn near 5 years since I had a procedure done where I was able to get rid of my glasses for good. It's 5 years ago tomorrow, February 23rd, 2018. If you are ready to ditch the glasses, if you are ready to ditch the contacts, there is no better time than now. We still have a few days left in February, and February is Love Your LASIK month at Kugler Vision. Special LASIK savings just for you. All the details can be found online at 1620thezone.com. Whether it's your hobbies and enjoying those more, seeing the person in your life that you love clearly, whatever it is, trips to sporting events, days at the office, they can help you. Tough prescription, astigmatism, readers. They have 7 FDA-approved forms of modern vision correction, the only spot in Nebraska where you will find all 7 of those. First step to get this process going is to give them a call, no pressure, no obligation consultation, and find out how you can change your life for the better. 402-558-2211. You can also find information online at kuglervision.com.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
The Blue Jay Zone is brought to you by Barry Law. We're in it to win it. Getting significant point contributions off the bench has been a struggle at times this year for the Creighton Blue Jays, but when it mattered most at St. John's, Sharif Mitchell and Mason Miller each hit big buckets. That did not go unnoticed from starter Arthur Kaluma.
I'm super proud of my guy, man, especially how the year started to how where he is now, and the growth that I've seen from him is it's inspirational for me, seeing that from my senior.
Winning comes without a guarantee. Focus, discipline, and extraordinary effort make winning more likely. Sometimes our greatest wins come from major setbacks. Coming back from a serious injury is a win that requires teamwork. At Barry Law, we're in it to win it.
If you have been seriously injured in an accident, call Barry Law today. 402-999-7777.
Every human civilization has made meatballs. It's something primal yet very elegant. Same goes for the Blackstone meatball, where you can build your own bowl of elegance. Pick your protein, choose your sauce inside, add a super salad, a tasty adult beverage, and wonderfulness. Vegan and gluten-free options available too. The Blackstone meatball, with 2 awesome locations in the Blackstone district at 39th and Harney, and out west on Chicago Street at 180th and West Dodge, and at theblackstonemeatball.com.
Listen to the Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay shoot-around and overtime shows. The Creighton men's basketball pregame and postgame shows on 1620 The Zone. The Woodhouse Auto Family Blue Jay shoot-around and overtime shows are also presented by Burton AC Heating, Plumbing, and More, by Barry Law, by Union Bank and Trust, and by DJ's Dugout. Before and after each Creighton game, exclusively on your home for the Creighton Blue Jays. 1620 The Zone, 1620 The Zone mobile app, and 1620thezone.com.
Does eating at home have you singing the blues? Stop by Cobb's at the Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, or 72nd and Jones to grab a delicious pizza, burgers, fresh salad, and some tasty charred wings. They even offer keto crusts and an extensive variety of shareable appetizers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. Cobb's, now with 3 convenient locations to serve you. Shadow Lake Town Center, 180th and Center, and 72nd and Jones. Click cobbspizza.com to see the menu, pizza, and so much more.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Give your business a whole host of options with Host Coffee. The most impressive selection of office coffee, water options, healthy food options, and vending technologies. Host Coffee, serving you since 72. Be a part of the Host Coffee team today. If you'd like to work for a trusted and loyal family-owned company that understands the needs of working families, Host Coffee has your opportunity. Apply at hostcoffee.net.
1620 The Zone's Unsportsmanlike Conduct is brought to you by Union Bank and Trust. Now back to the program.
Look, I made you some
Unsportsmanlike
content.
Unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike.
In the words of Pat Benatar, hit us with your best shot.
Nice. With losses by Xavier and Creighton last night, a Providence win over UConn would put them squarely at second place in the Big East. With a loss, it would be a three-way tie with all three teams sitting at a 12-5 in the league. Who do you like?
Well, I like Creighton. Oh, you were asking who I like to finish second? Well, Xavier and Providence have to play each other, so that's going to hurt there. I think it's going to be real interesting how Creighton responds on Saturday. And they're going into Philadelphia to play Villanova, who just beat aforementioned Xavier and is really starting to find itself with Justin Moore all the way back from the Achilles injury. It's going to be a real tough test, both mentally and physically, against Villanova. Jays may be favored in this one, but upset alert will be high.
Yeah, I kind of find it hard for them to finish second now. I mean, I know what they have to do it, but you and others have been calling kind of your shot for this Villanova game for a couple weeks now. I know, like Ravi, when he was filling in for you last week, we talked about it. The time in which Creighton has to catch Villanova versus some of the other teams, it stinks for them. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think they're going to end up fourth.
The NFL's considering banning the Eagles' best play, the push quarterback sneak. Why?
So it's interesting because there are two angles that the league can take if they want to get rid of this. The first is, like, a lot of people have used, the rugby. This is football. This is not rugby. They can do it from that perspective of, how fair is it to have 2 300-pounders pushing your quarterback? The other, and this is the way I actually think they're going to take it if they decide to remove it, and I think they will, is the health and safety. Like, the league got kind of lucky that no one got really, really hurt. But I mean, if you're not allowed to go low on blocks, and that's kind of the basis of this play at the beginning, I think that will be a sizable argument that they are going to make when they do it.
I mean, the play, it used to be illegal. You used to not be able to help a runner.
Yeah.
So why they decided to change it in the first place, I don't know. I think it probably should be changed. I don't know if you should necessarily be able to help a runner along. Just like, you can't jump on the back of a teammate to block a field goal.
Yeah, another rule they got rid of or changed, in the sports history.
According to Bet Online, Cowboys fans led the league in conspiracy theories about the NFL being scripted. Josh,
Nick?
What the hell is wrong with you and your fan base?
Now, in defense...
This doesn't sound like someone who's a member of the Aristocrats.
Now, in defense of the Cowboys...
Oh, here we go, defending the Cowboys.
This data...
Conspiracy is fine, but blaming the officials is not.
You sound like somebody from The Crown.
I'm
Lord,
mocking
John,
the aristocracy.
The data is from the final month of the regular season. So, like, in last places like the Jets, Commanders, and Bears, if you would have included the second to last month of the season, I'm guessing a lot of Commanders fans would have said the NFL is rigged against us because they got screwed in that Sunday night game versus the Giants. I don't know what happened in the last month of the regular season where Cowboys fans would have thought that they were screwed. You know who's number second?
Exactly, which is why your whole premise is now flawed because you're trying to pick apart when the poll was done. It doesn't matter
Your
what
Rams
time
are
of
number
years.
2.
I never claimed those people.
I don't claim the Cowboys fans.
I don't know. You are a conspiracy theory person. I mean, you think that the drunk motorcycle cop killed Kennedy.
Hungover Secret Service agent. Hungover.
You want to talk about the aristocracy? This person's name, Tory Pittman III, picked up an offer this weekend from Nebraska. It's not necessarily news. Players pick up offers from Nebraska all the time, but Pittman is currently in 8th grade and is the youngest Nebraska athlete to ever pick up an offer from the school. Cool?
I actually ran out of time. I wanted to ask Shafe about this. I've never been comfortable with these just because how are you going to be able to tell, especially in a sport like football where you're waiting for a body to develop and come in? I suppose you can look at frames and say, well, you know, he's got big paws. Like
what did
Rich
Tim
Wrigley
Miles
had.
say? He doesn't have hair on his legs. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I've
John,
always,
this should be when he's being a peak fan, and now he's getting offered.
I
He's
guess
like 14. That's weird.
Maybe they found. Maybe
what if
they're
his dad and mom
maybe
listen
they're
to our
desperate
show?
for fans.
Sounds like he's
They're
going to
trying-
Central.
And so now they're not just going to offer all preteens or teenagers
Ugh,
just so they can become fans. I don't know. I've always found these to be awkward.
Yep, very uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable.
According to ESPN, NBA draft analyst John Giovanni, Bronny James is moving up the draft boards. Why? Because according to Giovanni, NBA scouts have been disappointed in this year's elite high school crop. But Bronny James' draft position, the reason to pay attention to this summer's draft?
Well, he's not getting drafted this summer.
How do you know?
Because he has to go to college first. He's still in high school.
He doesn't have to go to college. He can be a one and done.
This
Or
summer?
not one and done. He can be drafted out of high school.
No, he can't. They didn't change the rule yet.
Well, he's on the draft. I don't know why he's on the draft. He's on
John,
the
this draft board's probably for like 2 years from now.
Well, maybe it's the 2024 draft. Sorry.
Yeah. It's 2023.
Sorry, 2024.
It's okay. No, this
he read the
summer.
question.
Yeah, you idiot. No, this summer, the reason to pay attention to it is that French guy, Wembanyama. He's like 7'4". He's huge.
Baguette.
Oui.
Frog legs.
I will not yield here on the basket. I will let you score. I surrender.
Smoke on the toilet.
It's gonna be really funny when someone drafts Bronny just to hope to get his dad, and Bronny sucks. I'm very excited. Everyone, I mean, he's
Why would Bronny? Maybe Bronny will be good. Maybe by that time, Braun will suck.
Well, maybe
he'll be old.
Bronny is like the 30th ranked player in his high school class. Like you say, Josh, that sounds really high. It is like amongst mere mortals, but not to be drafted.
No, that's true.
He's gonna stink.
Novak Djokovic is still unvaccinated against the vid.
Oh, man.
And he still has to ask permission to enter the U.S. to play in tennis tournaments this spring. Wait. I thought we had declared an end to the demi.
What? We're calling it a demi now? As in more?
Look at him.
Nice.
I totally forgot about this. They're still asking
Demi
for
Moore?
permission? Who does he have to ask permission of? The French?
The U.S. government.
What?
Yes.
To come to play the U.S. Open? What?
Yes.
I mean, I guess I did have to take a COVID test. Have you been out of the country since COVID?
No.
So I went to Mexico. Remember that when that was my bit last year? Dude.
How are the pyramids?
Didn't see those. The test to leave, I mean, they did like this. All right, you don't have COVID. I mean, seriously. You think they wanted me stuck at their resort for another however many days?
I thought President B, in addition to raising the prices on everything, could declared an end to this thing.
Yeah, come
Didn't
on.
he declare an end to this thing? If he declared an end to this thing,
Novak.
how come Djokovic isn't allowed to play in our country?
Welcome back in.
No,
Novak.
he's not.
Oh, never mind, Novak. Stay in your home country.
Last one?
Last
one.
Today is National Margarita Day. But the main source of tequila at the heart of the marg, the agave plant, is apparently at risk because bats are the only animal that can pollinate the plant, and the Mexican long-nosed bat is being affected by, wait for it, global warming.
Oh, no.
So drink up, boys. Soon all the tequila will be gone because Al Gore was right, and Scofro is probably hoarding the booze like toilet paper during the demi.
So is tequila going up in price?
Yeah.
It's like eggs.
Yeah.
This sucks. Bad news.
Well, the egg thing is false inflation.
And did you know that the tequila, it's the same as like the French and champagne?
Oui, oui.
It can only come from
the tequila area in France.
Yes.
And you got to get 100% blue agave. Don't get that other garbage swill. You'll be very disappointed. You'll probably wake up with a tummy ache.
Agave, boy, Josh.
Why would you wake up with a tummy ache?
Because it's not good. That's why it's on the bottom shelf. It's like $12.
What are they putting tummy ache stuff in?
Fake news, John. It's fake.
They
You
put
don't want,
tummy hurt juice in it.
you don't want fake tequila. You want real tequila.
Well, this is disappointing.
Why
so
did you
enjoy
write Al Gore like that?
Yeah, that threw me off.
Al Gore.
Why did Nick
Al Gore.
write it that
Nick,
way?
why did you write Al Gore that way?
I was just thinking about
looks like one
that
word.
book. You know, Al Gore was my favorite candidate when I was 4.
It does sound like kind of a second cousin of Frankenstein.
Al Gore?
Hey, it's Frankenstein, Dracula, and Al Gore.
Al Gore. It does.
Yeah,
See?
we're like a cereal mascot.
See?
It's Al Gore. By the way, have you seen
And
this? Have you
based
heard
on a
about
lot
this?
of the voting records of the people in this state, they probably look at Al Gore as a monster.
They do. Yeah, let's go look at the 2000 stuff. Ian Rappaport reporting.
Ian Rappaport.
The
Nice.
Broncos spent today with an intriguing candidate. I'm reading his words. This is not my word. Intriguing candidate for their vacant defensive coordinator job, Matt Patricia. Nick, that's really funny. Just laugh. It's hilarious. Rex Ryan and Vance Joseph also top candidates.
Oh, fun with that. Have fun with that. Because recycling Patriot assistant coaches has never failed the Broncos
Even
before.
Patriots fans hated that guy. God.
The bet of the day is coming up next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Omaha Maverick baseball and softball season tickets are on sale now. Don't miss a pitch or run scored. 2023 season tickets include in-state rivals Creighton and Nebraska. Get your tickets by calling 402-554-MAVS. That's 402-554-MAVS.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized Solaire air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more drive industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships. Let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air system today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Your neighborhood is more than blocks of buildings. It's the people who live there that make it special. At Union Bank and Trust, we're not just creating home loans, we're making neighbors. We're not just small business lenders, we're small business shoppers. We don't just live in your community, we help you build it. Because our people are your people. Visit ubt.com/neighbor to learn more. Union Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
My, how time flies. Nick Handley here for my friends at DJ's Dugout. Did you know DJ's is celebrating its 30-year anniversary? Yep, everyone at DJ's Dugout says thank you, Omaha Metro, for your amazing support since 1993. DJ's truly loves the communities they serve, and it's an honor to serve you, friends and guests, for so many years. Here's to another 30 years. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
In a house in Omaha, people gather in the kitchen. They don't talk about school and work. They talk about doctors and surgeries. They're the families of Ronald McDonald House Charities in Omaha. And the kitchen is where they come together to share the struggles their children are facing. For these families, it's the little things like a home-cooked meal even while far from home that make the biggest difference. Volunteer to prepare a meal by visiting rmhcomaha.org.
Now, unsportsmanlike conduct
Unsportsmanlike conduct, you better ask it.
with John Bishop and Josh Peterson.
And you know why I'm laughing, don't you?
Now, it's time for the unsportsmanlike conduct bet of the day.
Just a little bit under where some folks would like to see this one wind up.
Brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems.
Thank you, Peerless. But no thanks to the teams we picked last night in Bet of the Day. John had Xavier to cover 4.5 points. They lost. I had Creighton to cover 5.5 points. They lost. Nick had an underdog team, the Blues, in hockey. They also lost. We sucked. We're going to be better tonight. Also, Nick, you were up like $1,000. You're only up $447 right now, so you're falling apart.
Yep.
Give me a two-teamer tonight in the NHL because the NBA is still not back, folks. The Stars and the Flames, a couple huge favorites, minus 140.
I'm going to do a live line that's going on right now. Providence and UConn.
Oh.
Providence plus 6.5.
You going Providence?
Providence.
Minus 110.
Yes.
I am also going to take the Dallas Stars game, but I'm going to take the over. It's over 6 points. Goals? Minus
Good job correcting
104.
Proud of you, Nick.
Thank you.
By the way, you know,
it's Bet of the Day.
Peerless Energy Systems.
Peerless.
So we're watching this game right now
That could
on
be your new thing.
On the Fox.
Yeah.
Which is via the cable. But I was watching the live score here on the FanDuel Sportsbook. The game is about a minute behind. What we're watching here is almost a minute behind.
This cable is insanely slow. Insanely slow.
I was actually going to compliment. Maybe it's the FanDuel. They're like they got people at every game because they know they're setting up live lines all the time.
So I was in the studio when the night Nebraska played Michigan State and they lost on the punt return happened and then it went to overtime.
Oh yeah, that was
Gary and I got spoiled by a minute.
Times.
Gary was like, "Oh no," and I was like, "What happened?" And then I saw the punt return and it was like, "Oh no." Yeah, bad times. And then we were here until after midnight and I was really tired. I was tired. I think I'll go home now.
You saw the punt return and you were like,
basically. My stomach was hurting that night. I didn't even accept the beer he offered me. I was so sick.
Tummy ache.
Yeah. An hour later I had it. But at first I didn't. My stomach was just hurt.
Mine wasn't.
You were nestled safely under your bed. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm such an old man.
No, I was still up watching whatever football game was late.
Talking about him.
I know.
72 calls.
Tomorrow, Robbie Lula, Robin Washut, and Steve Sipple.
Look at that. Steve Sipple.
That's right. Sip couldn't join us today. He'll join us tomorrow. So once again, we move his day so that we don't have to move his day, and we have to move his day.
Mm-hmm. And then will we be better in the Peerless Energy Systems Bet of the Day?
Peerless.
I like this. Nick's going to say Peerless now.
Yeah.
Why is he going to say?
Because he usually says Iowa.
I can't stop myself from saying Iowa, so
but he
this
can't
is a
say
good crush.
Peerless.
Peerless.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But you have to say Peerless Energy Systems first. Just it's their whole name, and then I'll be like Peerless.
Well, that's exactly
emphasize it.
What we'll do.
Everyone drive safe tonight,
please.
Yes.
I've been told it's icy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just be careful out there and stay away from me,
Oh, that's a good take.
please.
Yeah, leave John alone.
Drive slow.
I don't want to be near you, and you don't want to be near me. So stay away from me.
What are you doing tonight? You have no basketball to call tomorrow.
I'm gonna try to get to sleep tonight at a decent hour.
Probably a good idea.
Late night last night.
Probably a good idea.
And watch another episode of Succession.
Nice. Are you late in season 2 or are you in season 3?
Mid-season 2.
Nice.
Trying to remember the last episode. It was. Logan is starting to sleep with the infiltrator of the other company. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
baby.
John, I got a show for you might like.
Hell no.
Bye.